introduction, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
19 in the audience, guys. Are we ready to go? Diaxis, if you could press the big green button. I know it's not green, but if you could press that for me now, I'm going to take a big sip of my drink and then we're going to get started, okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Sundays with Craven, episode 13 is here. I am looking forward to this one. As always, I plan to have a good old chinwag with a very special guest and with you guys in the audience as well. I hope you bring your best memes. I hope there's lots of engagement in the chat, lots of questions as well. And I may not have mentioned it in the promo poster, but if you made it here, I'll let you into a secret. There is going to be a giveaway, as always. So I really want to get this show started. I really want to ask some questions for the special guest. I think he's looking forward to a certain question left by one of last week's guests. Can't wait to hear that one. But guys, what I'm going to do is give a shout out and a thank you to every single one of you right now that is in the audience here from the start. I can see 24 of you. So hello and a thank you to Diaxis, Villainous Bounty, Miss Stacking with Craven, Jamie Frost. Just an extra shout out to you, mate, all the way from Japan. God knows what time in the morning it is right now for you, but I really appreciate you making it. I really do. Thank you for being here. SBC, Nerd UK, BBA, Benson, Seol Hordian, Silver Machine, Baron Vansky, Callum Hunter, a dark horse on a poker table. Let me tell you that. Luke K1, Vegas Stacker, one of last week's special guests. Thank you for joining. Stacks of Silver, Loey, M&J Gold and Silver, Northern Soul 23, Calcs here, 365. Ladies and gentlemen, the godfather of stacking himself is in the house. Great to have you in, mate. Thank you for joining. Will's Bullion Coins, the coin cutter is here as well. Thank you for joining, mate. We've also got Ash and Shiny Silver, and sneaking in last minute, we've got another Shiny. It's Shiny Stacker. Thank you so much, guys, for being here from the start. All 26 of you, I am sure you want me to get cracking on and bring in our guests. Well, let me tell you, this week is a very special one. It's episode 13, which normally would suggest it's an unlucky number, but it's really not. Not here, not on Little John's watch, because this episode, I am delighted to be joined by fellow YouTuber and a big voice in the precious metals space. He's closing in on 6,000 subscribers. And if you're into stacking, you've almost definitely seen his channel pop up. I'm very excited to welcome on the show MacDonald Bullion himself. Josh, mate, thanks for jumping on with me today. How are you?
Very well. Yeah, excited. I've been meaning to come on for ages, so I appreciate it. And hello, everyone.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. I think you know how excited I am. We did try a little something not too long ago, but this was completely on my end, not yours. But I had some technical issues, didn't I, my friend? That's what happened.
Yeah, that's the trouble with these sorts of things. Once you do it and you realise how technical things can be, the simple things can be really quite tricky. And recorded in that, so much effort, so much logistics, and everything goes into it. I just appreciate it, and thank you for having me on.
Oh, may I echo that straight back to you? And the questions I prepared for when we were going to do that, a lot of them I have carried through for this evening. And guys, don't forget, there is a special segment, which is usually about 45 minutes long, where we focus on you in the live chat. So if you have any burning questions for Josh this evening, you will get the chance to ask them at that point. So there you go. So tradition, Josh, on the show, we start with asking the special guests questions left by the previous episode's special guest. Now, there is a little bit of unluckiness to episode 13 because normally it's one person. I had two special guests last week, Josh. Therefore, we all know what that means. You've got two questions, and you know what those questions are. Are you ready for this, mate? Are you prepared?
Prepared as I'll ever be, probably.
If you were there last week, guys, you know what one of those questions was. Let me tell you, those special guests wanted to throw Josh under the bus. So let's go. So I'll start with the other one first. So, Josh, last week, a question from Blue Collar Stacker. And he said, who is your hero that you'd like to bring back from the past to have a sit down conversation with? And what would you want to talk about with that person?
I, I, it's a very good question because you can spin it down. Who's my hero? I don't. It's something I've never really thought about. I don't think, but if I was to break it down and have someone that I want to have a conversation with that I'd be intrigued to sort of know. Um, I'd love to. I'm a big football fan, so I would love to sit down and have a conversation with like the founders of. I don't know who they are, but I'd love to have a conversation with those that like founded my team. My team, which is going to be Arsenal. So I don't know who that is, so it's a bit cheating. So I am sorry, but I don't know their names or who it was. But I just think it would be fascinating if I could sort of wave a magic wand and have a conversation with those founders, like especially now knowing what I have now. It's football has been a huge part of growing up for me. It's been massive. Probably not so much now. It's probably more so in my younger years. And I was a huge Arsenal fan. I still am. And I think if I could bring anyone back, whoever it is, I'm gonna have to look up their names. I should have prepared it before, but I think I probably would bring back either the founder or those that created it and have a sit down conversation with them and just say, would you ever expect hundreds of millions being spent and all that sort of thing? I think it'd be fascinating conversation I'd have with them anyway.
I'm really interested by that answer. Obviously, I'm very much into football as well, and because of the team that I support, and you'll love this. You're going to be enjoying this. I
Oh,
support
go on.
Manchester United, and
Oh.
I'm not gonna. We're not here to talk about football today, Josh. Okay, I wanna skip past that. You can have the fun of last week, but there we go. It's a great answer, and it was a complex question. It really was, but that would be interesting because it's not just what they planned with Arsenal. It's also the progression of football to what the game is now and all the money that's involved. It's a huge attraction. It's worldwide, and yeah, I absolutely love football as well. So that's a good warm up question. But you know what's coming next, don't you?
Yeah, let me sit down.
Yeah, take a gulp of your drink, get ready. Guys in the audience, 30 of you right now, have a think about this question as well, because poor Josh is the one that's going to be answering it. Last week's special guest, one of two, uh, Vegas Stacker, left this question. And it is, Josh, what is the meaning of life? Easy question.
Oh, it's so easy. The short answer is I have no clue. But no, I'll long it out. But if I was to pinpoint it, I suppose there's never ever going to be sort of one clear answer for it. It depends on who you ask, isn't it? One person's view, mine is going to be totally different to probably the 30 other people listening in on the audience and yourself. But I assume it probably all comes down to, you know, your beliefs and what you value and your meaning and um, the way you see things. I mean, I think if you was to make it short and sweet, I think finding things that mean value to you, whatever that may be, family, time, health, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think making, embracing, and seeing things that make your life happy and meaningful probably would go along my views, maybe. Um, but it's a very difficult answer to give. Someone might say if you was to ask, anyone, if you was to ask like an Arsenal fan, the meaning of life, Arsenal winning the league, or it completely depends on your views and things. But I think it comes down to your beliefs and everything. I think for me, personally, I just want to try and create value in everything I do, um, but not oversee the things in front of you. I think it's easy to oversee things, isn't it? We look so far ahead,
Yes.
um, with gold, with silver as well. You can kind of coincide it with that because it's long term, but you don't want to deprive yourself of the here and now. So I think finding the happiness and meaningful things, um, in your possessions are good, but they'll be replaced. They'll be gone. So you just got to not oversee things. Sorry, it's a very weird, like intertwined answer I've given, but I think you kind of understand what I mean.
I
Hopefully.
do. I do. And Josh, you have nothing to be sorry for. This is the 13th episode. We're over 3 months in now. And I can tell you for a fact, mate, that is the hardest question left by a previous episode's guest that you've just answered. It's very difficult to pinpoint. And to be fair, I've tried to think about what my answer would be. And it's quite simple. I think personally, based off what you said, I agree with the points you've made. I would try and summarize it myself from a personal point of view by saying the meaning of life is to achieve the most you can that fits with your own goals within the time scale that you have, and
Yeah.
hopefully have no regrets. Push yourself and see where it goes. But it's an impossible question to answer, and it's so personal, and there's so many rabbit holes you could go down. But well done on the answer, mate. I think you smashed it. I really did. So, I
Thank you.
mean,
I can relax now.
yeah, I mean, look, there's your warm-up questions. It only gets harder from here. I'm joking. I'd probably say that's probably the hardest question that we've got here. I mean, unless someone's got something even harder for later on, but I guess we will see. So, guys in the audience, Josh, as always, I've planned some questions for you. I was meaning to ask these a while ago when we tried to do that interview, but here we are. So, if you're ready, mate, I'm going to start going through those questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to go back to the origin, the very start with you, if that's okay. So, Josh, let's rewind the clock. What is the origin story of Josh the Stacker? Was it a sudden light bulb moment, a family influence, or just you holding a coin one day and thinking, "Yeah, this is shiny enough to bankrupt me"?
Well, I think if I was to kind of pinpoint it, I think around 2017, 2018 time. I remember someone was talking to me about money or something. And they were saying, "Oh, I don't know. We must have been really bored or something at the time." But I remember them saying like they had a £50 note and they said, it's not worth £50. Like it's not worth anything because it's tangible value of it is not worth anything, is it? And I remember thinking about that and thinking, I'm saving money. I had a little look into ways I could save money, and I was just saving it in a bank. Um, and then I thought about investing, and I was still quite young at the time. I think I was about 20, so I didn't really know where to put my money and what to do with it. Um, so I looked into ways of investing. I looked into property early on. Long story short, it didn't work out, which is fine. And
Okay.
then I did. Um, I remember watching a video. I think it was on YouTube or something, and this is around probably just after COVID, because I think everyone was the stock market had gone down and everything had gone down pretty much, hadn't it? But
Of
I
course, yeah,
remember,
yeah.
yeah, I remember like being at home, and even though I wasn't earning loads of money, so to speak, I was still like I was like holding quite a bit of money and I didn't really know where to spend it. And I was thinking, where can I invest it if I'm not going to invest it in property? Or I looked at stocks, and stocks didn't really appeal to me because I don't know anything about business or um, stocks in general. I knew about the S&P 500 because everyone talks about that, and it was the thing that I thought, well, maybe that would work. But I remember seeing a video come up of, I think it was Kiyosaki, and it was him showing a gold coin, a silver coin, and Bitcoin. And I watched it, and it was only like 20 seconds long. And he was saying, oh, he was calling it God's money and everything. And I thought, I remember seeing old adverts on Bullion by Post years ago, and thinking, oh, it might be cool to have like a gold or silver coin or something. So I started
Yeah.
watching YouTube videos on gold and silver. There really wasn't much uh, gold and silver channels in the UK. It was vastly American. I started watching the three channels I started watching was two American channels called Rookie Stacker, who doesn't film anymore, New Silver Stacker, who doesn't film anymore, and Backyard Bullion. And I
Okay.
thought, yeah, I think this is about 2021 time. And I remember thinking I always wanted to document something on YouTube. I started a gaming channel before, but I hated it because it was so much editing and it used to drive me mad. And it had just become a second job. And I thought, well, I want to document something that I'm interested in. I thought, well, let's document, uh, me buying coins and things. I was always interested in coins. I grew up in school. Coming out of school, I wanted to be a history teacher and everything. I was fascinated with military history.
That's interesting.
Um, yeah, so coins just naturally came into that, which I can come on to a little bit later. But um, I remember doing I think it was December time, December 21. And I was at Silverstone and we were driving around and I was just thinking, oh, I really want to pick up a kilogram of silver. I couldn't decide between a kilo or a 500 grams. And I still knew nothing about gold and silver really. I just thought it looked cool on the YouTube videos and I really wanted a big bar. No, I kid you not. And I bought it, and I bought it from the Royal Mint, and I think it cost 800 quid. And this is when silver was, I think it was about £550 for a kilo.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I think it was £17 an ounce or something like that. And I thought I just want a kilo bar because I thought it looked really cool. So I bought it, and it came in, and I was literally like, wow, this is really cool. And I remember thinking, I kind of want like some more because I saw people had coins and things like that, and I thought, well, I don't want to buy it from Bullion by Post because I wanted to go in and see it. I wanted to see some more coins, and the Britannia Coin Company was actually my local coin shop. So I went down there and I just went in and I just said, oh, I'm looking for some silver bullion, and they pulled out a maple, and I paid £23, I think. Um, and that was a lot. That was a lot at the time. So um, I took that home. I looked at it and I just become Gollum. And I went back and I said, "Have you got any more?" And I bought another. I think I bought another two. I bought a Morgan dollar. I bought my first Morgan dollar, I think, then as well, or roundabouts then. Um, and I got a Noah's Ark. So my first coin was a 2012 maple, and then I got a Noah's Ark. I remember it because they kept calling it Azerbaijan, and I was like, um, "It says Armenia." And then yeah, it's just one of the things that just sticks out in my head. Um, but I got that, and then I started the channel, and I remember thinking, what the hell do I call the channel? And I remember thinking, I'm a big fan of Backyard Bullions. He was one of the inspirations for the channel. I thought I'll just call it MacDonald Bullion. Um,
That makes
so that
sense.
yeah, it's not a lot to go. I had no idea what to call it, so I just thought, oh, I'll just do that. And then I started filming. I started just recording coins, reviews of coins, while I started buying coins. Um, and it was sitting nowhere really. Like I was just doing it for me more so. The channel really didn't grow at all. The UK scene, I think there were people out there buying gold and silver, but everyone was so disjointed. There wasn't a community other than the Silver Forum and things like that. But there
Yeah.
was nothing. There was nothing. I had no idea anyone in the UK was really doing it. I was watching no channels until I saw 365. 365 came up and Future. Those were the first two, apart from Backyard Bullion, that I saw come up. Um, Sorry, I am going on a bit of a bit of a
No, please.
ramble with it, but
I'm enjoying listening, mate. Carry on.
okay. Well, that was it. And then after the first year, I was filming about 3 times a week, and I just burnt out. So
Yeah.
I took a step away because YouTube, it can be quite a hard graft. It does take a lot of time. It does, when you're editing, when you're filming, coming up with new ideas. I was
Certainly.
spending evenings just editing and things like that, and it really does take its toll sometimes. So I took about 6 7 months away, and I had quite a few friends in the stacking community over in America, and they were emailing me saying, "Oh, um, I hope you're okay, and it'd be good to see some more videos and things like that sort of thing, really." And it was quite nice. And I thought, well, you know, I'll come back, but I'll do some videos that I won't burn myself out by. I'll do the videos that I want to do, and if it gets too much, then I'll pull back. Um, so during that time, I mean, I've learned loads. I was collecting silver pretty much throughout 22, 23, 24. Um, I started gold more so in 24, I think. I had a little bit of gold, but I really didn't have much. It was only sort of last year. Um, I was buying gold. I had silver more so, and I think I just really enjoy silver. I just really like it. But yeah, the kilo silver bar. If you haven't got one, it's lovely. Like it's really
Not yet.
nice. It's just. I mean, it was the worst investment I did at the time because I paid uh, £250, I think, something like that, over what spot was. I
You
think it was
bought from the
brand
Royal
new.
Mint.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Um, but it was so good. Like, I kid you not, when I got that and I took it out and I was like, bloody hell, like that looks brilliant. And then I looked up how much, like, I thought, oh, just out of curiosity, what if I was to sell it back? And it was like, yeah, you paid VAT, and spot is a lot less than what I paid for it and everything. I thought, oh, bloody hell. Because it was an investment at the start. So, uh, but yeah, here I am today. The channel has gone well. It's picked up sort of in the last year, I think, more so on with the interview side of things and that. I think people enjoy watching those.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying it. Like I only create videos that I want to do. Um, and make, and I think people will like as well. And if people don't like it, then it's okay. It's not a problem. Um, I think it's more so I'm trying to do the things that I like doing rather than what you have to do. And I think it's important to try and find that balance so you don't feel like you're working.
I
Because
completely agree with that. I really
that
do.
can, yeah, that can get very, you can get sucked in. It's very, very easy. Once you kind of you get into the YouTube side of things and you get used to it, or and you're having people wanting to collaborate and things like that, it's very easy to kind of drift off slightly. um the important thing for me is just to keep doing what I enjoy doing, and if it gets too much, then I just usually take a little bit of a break, or I just come back to the videos I want to do. But hope that answered the question. Sorry, I did loads on that, but
You
yeah.
answered it brilliantly, mate. I'm trying to think where to start with that. I really appreciate all the background, all the detail you've just given there, and it's fascinating for me because I don't know if you know this. You spoke about years gone by when you started. You mentioned obviously 365 future investments. On the UK side, you mentioned about what Backyard Bullion as well.
Yeah.
Totally different for me because I joined all of this in April this year. That's when I started stacking. I came across 365. I came across Stacker Social, and I've bought a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I haven't got any gold yet, but something that I hear a lot, and you said it there, with all the knowledge you've got today, but you started somewhere and you purchased from the Royal Mint. Something that I hear a lot. Everyone's first purchase
Mm.
tends to be from the Royal Mint, and now I look back on it, I think it's very rare I would choose to buy from the Royal Mint. I've got nothing against them at all. It's just more in terms of value. There is trusted sellers that do it much less. But do you think when people first start and they're not sure where to buy from, do you think there's an element of safety there when they don't really know, and they think, well, this is the official place to buy from. It's the Royal Mint. Do you think that's what leads people there initially?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you, I, I can only sort of speak for me, but the way I thought about it is, I remember people were saying to buy from other companies and things like that at the time, but
Yeah,
I knew the Royal Mint made those bars. I knew it was going to be legit. I knew I just couldn't be bothered with things going wrong or something. I just thought I know what I want. I know where to buy it. I know what I'm going to pay. I'm just going to do it. It was probably a little bit of arrogance on my behalf, but I think it's probably a degree of me didn't want to be told anything different because I felt like it would sway me and stall me from getting the bar. I
yeah,
think I knew I was going to get it. I knew what to pay. I didn't really know. I didn't really understand spot price. In all honesty, I just saw a big shiny silver bar. I knew that was legit, and it would arrive at my door the next day. Um, and I didn't really know any other companies apart from Bullion by Post, and they're really not far off Royal Mint's price. And I thought I'm just going to buy it direct from source. So
yeah. True.
yeah, I think when you start off, you want to buy reputable. You kind of, it's edging into it. It's baby steps with it. So I understand why everyone does it. At the start, I did it. You know, I don't regret it
Too.
because I'm a big advocate for you should do things to learn and fail as much as possible because you only build up by doing that. I think we're so afraid of failing, we hold ourselves back so much. And I know it's like, it's a terrible financial decision I did because I lost like 200, 300 quid of it at the time if I wanted to sell it back. But I
Yeah.
learned so much from it. And I loved the bar. Like I bought it because originally it was an investment. It was a terrible investment, but I really enjoyed the bar. I thought it was great. And
That's the main thing, mate. I think, and I said this before, we can talk about the investment side specifically. It's the core reason why a lot of us are in the precious metal, sorry, game. But if a purchase makes you happy, for an individual, that's all that really matters. Not whether it's necessarily the right thing to do or the right place to buy it from. You're buying because it makes you happy. You feel good. You're buying a good thing. You're not just blowing your money away, regardless if you pay a bit more. You've still got a hard asset there, which is worth a value intrinsically in the metal that you've bought. I find that all really interesting. What you've just said, with the backstory there, and I want to touch on that because you talk about failures and different things than being valuable. I completely agree. I don't like the word mistake because I actually think there's more value in doing something the wrong way than there is doing everything right all the time because you learn.
Mhm.
I think they're all mistakes. Was a better term for it would be a learning experience. And as we develop and grow our stacks, I think we learn so much and we make better decisions. And that leads me to this, Josh, for you to dig a bit deeper, my friend. So stacking, it's one of those things where the lessons usually come after the mistakes, as we just mentioned. So for you, what's one of the biggest ouch moments that you've had that actually taught you something? And if you could go back, you mentioned day one, Josh, you wanted that big kilo bar, and you got your maple and your Noah's Ark. But if you could go back to that Josh right now, day one, what would you tell yourself to save some time, money, or a couple of a couple of awkward conversations maybe with the missus when another package shows up at the door?
I I think that um I would it sounds cringy, but I don't think I would change anything. Um
Okay.
I the reason why is, I mean, the kilo bar is that when I made that decision, although I've kind of fooled myself, said telling myself it was an investment at the time, it was a terrible one. It was a brand new silver bar, and if you're getting silver bars, um, when you're paying the VAT and things, you're going to be vastly down already. But I remember at the time, once I got that bar, I was buying 10-ounce bars. So the 10-ounce bars I could buy at the time, the only place I could really find them that they were legit, the Royal Mint did the Britannia one, but I was buying them from Bullion by Post as well. So I was overspending on Bullion by Post. Um, but it was extra money, spare money that I would incur over time, whether that be overtime or a little bit of extra savings and things, that
Yeah.
I put into. And like when it came to it, when I bought it and it came, I really enjoyed it. Um, I remember at the time thinking, I think spot had increased by then. because this is going back early in 22, I think. But I was getting Scottsdale bars. I was getting a variety of different bars. Um, and I think the 10-ounce bars going big, I think going big was a bit of a mistake, especially at the start.
That's what I was going to say there. Is going big a mistake or is going big too soon a mistake?
I think it probably, I'd say it probably was, yeah. Um, but I just couldn't help myself. I was terrible. I wanted the biggest I could get. The other one, what is it, 100-ounce or whatever it is? I've lost now. The one above the kilo, you know what I mean. But
I do know what you
one,
mean. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's
the one above the kilo, the big one. It's
we'll
just
call it
it's
the big one, mate, just so I'm not guessing here.
Yeah, that. I mean, that was ridiculous. I wouldn't get away with that. The missus would kill me. Yeah, yeah, and I don't think I could put enough paint on it to put enough paint to make it look like a doorstop or something. I think she'd find out. But um, no, I think going big at the start was probably a little bit of a mistake. I think if I could, I probably would stick to bars and coins. Um, but it's a kilo. When you got a kilo, if you haven't held a kilo or a bigger bar, it. I don't know. It's like an enrichment feeling, I suppose. It's just really good. It's really nice. Um, and holding gold bars, like the bigger gold bars, is just surreal. I did the VIP tour in at the Royal Mint in
Nice.
April 22, I think it was, and they passed into my hands. They gave, I can't remember what sizes they were at the time. I can't remember what spot was, but I think they were 60 grand each, and they said, "Oh, it's
Wow.
120,000 pounds." When you're holding that, like that amount of wealth in your hands, is really surreal. Like I yeah, I
It's
just
such a
find it's
compact and
incredible.
small thing as well. Like you look at, let's go really smaller here. I know there are now even smaller quantities, but the 1 gram gold bar, you're paying maybe 90 or £100 for that. It's
Yeah,
tiny, but it holds so much value in comparison to its size. So yeah,
yeah.
120 grand in your hand, and it's not that big of an item. It's so compact though. It's so dense.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. Like the good thing about the 1 gram gold bars is when you get them in the little cards, you pay an extra for the card. So if it's an investment, it's not really that great. But I suppose you can sell it with a premium. But they can store really well. Like you can hold 10 of them in those little 3D boxes that people like Nerd and that are creating now, and they're really useful. They're really nice. The amount of comments I still get on the videos, I did a 1 gram gold bar video, and I still get emails from people saying, "Where'd you get your boxes from? Where'd you get your boxes from? I need to store my gram gold bars and that sort of thing." So, the grams, I think it can be very easily misled how valuable a 1 gram gold bar is. And part of me is glad that they have gone to a smaller size. Like you can get the 0.5s now, which is nice because you're round about the same sort of price that you were paying a few years ago. But it just goes to show how much gold has increased. And that's only
It
going to
does.
get smaller. So wages isn't going to keep up with the price that gold's going.
No, no
Um,
way near, mate.
so we're gonna keep seeing 0.5s, two fives, probably,
How
and
small do you
smaller,
think you
small
can
and
go with it? Realistically, you mentioned there the assay cards, the original factory packaging.
yeah,
I've seen myself. I've seen the half gram. I've seen quarter a gram. How can we see tenths? Can we see 40ths? Can we see 100ths? I know, like the gold backs is an example of that. But in terms of an actual bar, how low can they go? What do you guys think in the chat about that as well? How low can they go in terms of weight for gold? What do you think, Josh?
I mean, uh, you see 40ths, don't you? Um, but I even like it's so small. Yeah, I think there's I saw it today actually. 1/200th is that? I'm terrible with my maths and that. So is
What
that?
is a bar? Is that, mate? An actual bar?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, if Steve's in the chat, I think Steve Steve was sending them today. On whatnot, I saw it. I think it was 1/200th, and I'm
Wow.
terrible at math. So if that's over, I'm confident it's smaller than a 0.5. But I mean, that was tiny, but they're really nice. Then they're lovely. Like you can make them in little gifts and that. You can give them, hand them out. You know, if you I remember like saying like even with the gold backs, like I take them for I try and gift them to my niece and nephews, and
Oh,
my niece is like no thanks. I'm like okay, all right, you know. But my nephew is just like yeah, go on gold. So you know the gold, the smaller denominations of gold, they will become more popular, and fractional gold is really hot, and it's only going to get smaller. So I mean, if you can pick up like gold pieces like the ounces, I can't afford an ounce Britannia. Like they're just way out of my budget. Um,
well,
and
yeah, two and a
sovereigns,
half grand.
yeah,
It's two and a half
yeah.
grand. You know.
I mean, it's far out of my reach for it. But I mean, we're going to see half sovereigns become what sovereigns are pretty much fairly soon, because it's all a price point. People pay what they can afford. The grams are £100. I think the grams are getting a bit expensive. I think 0.5s are going to be the
Well,
more
yeah, like
popular
you
thing.
said, the amounts are getting smaller to hit those sort of target audience, target customers' price points. People want something that's less than £100. Eventually, the 1 gram will be the half gram for that particular, you know. So you can at least get on the gold ladder. You're just going to be
Mm.
getting less for your money because the market has moved and it continues to move. And I do have some questions about where you think the market's going to go, which I'm really interested in because you know I'm someone who doesn't own any gold yet, but I really am working towards that. And sovereigns is a direction I'd be going in with that. But I want to talk about the comparison between silver and gold. Obviously, you're a stacker. You've got both. I know you're into your crypto as well, mate. There's a few
Yeah.
things you mentioned there. You also brought property in. You're very investment minded. Is the impression you give me, which is great. And I like to have these conversations. I like to learn from people's different experiences, but specifically with silver and gold. You've got both in your stack, but I'd like to know: do you treat them differently? Like, is silver your fun, let's go wild metal, while gold's the serious, responsible older brother? Or is it the other way around? Silver's the cheap date, gold's the high maintenance partner. What's your opinion on them?
So gold is my savings. Gold is wow, I'm lying actually. They're both my savings, but gold is the better savings account. So if you're looking into saving money, gold is going to be the way to go, really, if you want to hedge against currency debasement and that sort of thing. Main reason being that gold's with investment gold in the UK, you're paying lower premium and that sort of thing. Silver, I love silver because I love, especially recently, last few years, certainly when I joined, sort of stacking in general, it almost feels like there was so much less than what there is now. I don't know if that was just because I was focusing mainly on Royal Mint and Bullion by Post products. Maybe I was just focused on that and I didn't know what else was out there.
Yeah.
But the amount of silver on offer now, you can collect loads. And I think that's the rabbit hole I certainly found myself in. Was I got to a point where I was stacking too much silver and I was starting collections that I knew I wouldn't finish and backdating things that got too expensive, and I think I was depriving myself from the here and now, you know, going on holidays and that sort of thing, which is, you know, when you got a family, it's really important for those sorts of things as well. So um I think silver for me, I enjoy silver. I love silver. I still use silver as a savings account. There's great ways you can still buy silver. I love half crowns. Half crowns are perfect,
Yeah.
because they're
Yep.
about a tenner. They like I think of it as a tenner. You know, if you want to liquidate it, just buy used half crowns. You can pretty much sell it
We
for
spoke about the half crowns quite a bit, mate, privately. You know, I also like them as
yeah,
well. I'm filling some tubes with them. And I completely agree. And obviously, we love the shiny stuff, like the brand new 39's Fine plus bullion products, 1 ounces or more, bars, coins, rounds, whatever, right? It is
mm,
enjoyable for the designs, the collection side. But in terms of value for the metal you're actually buying, I also love the half crowns. You know, you can buy them for close to spot. Sometimes you can get them for less than spot, which I have done a few times. And for me, I don't know about you, because when we buy, sometimes we look to sell. You mentioned liquidating, dead easy to liquidate half crowns.
yeah,
For me, there's no emotional attachment to them. I build them up. I could have 20 of them. Like you say, they could be worth a tenner each. You know, That's 200 quid. And it's a quick sell. It wouldn't bother me to let go of those. I could put them towards, that's a third of the price of a gold sovereign that I might want in the future that I've got there ready to go. It's just goes back to what you said at the very start, before you started investing, mate, that Josh, where you were good at saving, even if you weren't on the biggest income at that point in your life, you were good at saving with what you had, but you were just putting that money in the bank. And really, certainly now you probably look back and think, actually, putting money in the bank is a mistake. It's better to invest in some of maybe some half crowns potentially. It's not financial advice, but I think personally, as an opinion, it's better to have some cash or some of your cash in hard assets like the best value silver you can get, as opposed to cash sat in the bank. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do. I do. Like I think about it. I had a lifetime ISA, and I had money saved up in there. If I'd have put that into gold and silver, I would have had a lot more than what's left in it now. I wouldn't say to go all in on gold and silver.
No.
I wouldn't say that at all. But um, I do think that there are people that will say, what's the point in buying silver for 30 quid when you can just save that money and put it in the bank and keep it for 30 quid and then just buy gold with it? But the way I see it is, look, I split my money. I budget my money. My gold and silver purchases, they come under my savings, but they also come under my wants budget. So the things that I want will come out of that. And it's money that I would spend. It's money I'd waste. It's money I'd spend on, I don't know, like a waste away. So the good thing I find with silver and gold is when you buy it, you've got something that's tangible. It's not going to go to zero. It's always going to be a rare metal. There's always going to be someone that's going to want it. It's important not to get caught up in the fantasy of going full Gollum with it. Because I know many of us do. I certainly do. I love it. You just have to be very careful with it. But it's a brilliant savings account. I think it's brilliant. It's there. It's tangible. You can sell gold in minutes. Stack a social. I sell things on there. I trade things. I bring something. I sell it. I've got no emotional attachment to my gold and silver. If I want to go on holiday and I want to liquidate some gold, I'll happily do it. That's not a problem because I know I'll always buy it. I'll always buy it whether it goes to 2,000, 4,000, 10,000. I'll always buy it.
Yeah,
Um,
I
for
like that.
me, yeah, for me, gold is something that's out of the system. It's not, you're not being controlled by an institution, not being controlled by a bank. I get it, they've got to make their money. I just don't want any part of it. I want to be sort of doing my own thing on the outside. If they want a fractional reserve, making everyone poorer, I completely disagree with it. But I'm gonna
I
keep
agree, mate.
my money on the sidelines, and if something happens, if I need to liquidate, if I need to bring some money, a tube of half crowns, that's 250 quid, 25 crowns. And you're probably paying 10, 11, 12 pounds. You can purchase them off people liquidating collections for about 11 quid. So it's money that I think is savings out of the banking system, which you're in control of, and it's really empowering. And this is why I think everyone should own at least a little bit anyway.
I think that's really valuable what you've just said. And to go back on one point, even if you're paying a premium or VAT on some of these silver products, it's still arguably better than having it in the bank because, like you said, sometimes, I mean, I'm guilty. Last night I had a takeaway. That was £15. That could have been, I could have bought another half crown, but I didn't. So
Yeah.
what do I spend? Like £13 on something worth £11? Or do I spend £15 and eat the lot? There's just for a bit of fun. There's one example. But I agree with what you said about having that freedom, and a great phrase you used within that was escaping the system. I think Sandy put it in the chat before about cash sort of being on the way out. I completely agree. They're trying to force this digital currency, which is something we'll probably see very soon. And that's because, like you said, the government want full control. They want to make us poorer. They want to see all of our transactions. They don't want MacDonald Bullion getting gold and being able to go on holiday when he wants and having stuff he can liquidate. They don't want that. So I think it's very smart, mate, and very valuable. But a key thing I want to ask here, and I want to take a second because I want the chat to be involved in this too. It's a question for everyone. I'm going to ask Josh, but guys listening, put your thoughts, predictions in as well. It's a simple question. and that is, where do you see silver and gold heading by the end of this year? It's only a short time frame, but where do you see silver and gold, just the spot price? Where do you think that'll be by the end of the year, Josh?
I think that 2000 is the baseline. I don't think it will go below that at all. I think it will either steady out now or slightly dip. I think silver will slightly dip as well, but I think next year they'll both go up. And I expect it's going beyond 25, but I think that gold will be at 4,000 by 2030. Um,
Ooh.
but the thing with the gold price at the moment is the gold and silver and everything that's gone up. It runs off supply and demand, of course. You know, the more
Yeah,
demand there is, the more it's going to go up. You've got to convince sellers to sell, so it's going to naturally go up. Um, there's always a correction. There's volatility. There's always buyers and sellers and things. I think until central banks stop buying and everyone, because it's so easy to buy gold and silver now. It's, I have people tell me, email me, and the common thing that people say is, why did gold stagnate in the 90s? And I said, well, it's a very different world in the 90s than what it is now. The US economy was booming. There's lots of different variations and things. That's for a whole nother video in itself.
yeah,
But you know don't compare today to yesterday. You can only think about the here and now. I think so long as institutions, banks, and everything are still buying, I think naturally in the long term it will continue to go up. Certainly based on the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years of the average returns and things, it has to. You've got that gold silver ratio as well, which is kind of, I don't think it works so much here in America. I know it's big in America. I don't think you can base it on the gold and silver ratio in the UK because we've got different taxes and things. But
yeah.
I think it will steady out now. I don't think it will shoot up to 3,000 by the end of the year. It may do. I might be completely wrong. I was wrong last year when I was thinking that it wasn't going to go past 2,000. I thought it was going to level out. But if I was to take a bit of a guess, I suppose, I think there'll be a leveling off, and I think there'll be a slight dip. I think silver will dip alongside gold as well, but I think from next year, I think it will go up again. So I'm going to say by the end of the year, I'm going to sit where we are now. I'm going to say about 2005.
Okay. And for silver, do you think it'll stay thereabouts, just below 30? Is that what you're thinking?
I think so. Yeah, it's 28 now, 28 or so.
I think it was just under 29 when I last looked, about 28
Yeah,
pounds 80 pence. I'm not sure if there's been a change today. What I do want to do though, that I love the detail you give them there, the reasons why you think, and I think you're probably not far from being right there. None of us actually know what the future holds.
no,
But we can only see. What I'm going to quickly do, Josh, and I'd love your opinion on this. I'm going to read some of people's predictions that have kindly put some of their predictions in the chat. I'll start with 365. Very similar to you. He reckons £30 an ounce for silver. So that's in line with what you said. An interesting one, though. I can't read all of these guys, but some of them do stand out. Shiny Stacker, and this is by the end of the year, by the way. I'm not sure about this. He reckons £50 silver, £3,000 gold. What do you think about that? I mean, is it possible?
it's possible. Yeah, no one knows, and that's the beauty of it. No one really knows.
Would
Um,
that be a good or a
we-
bad thing, though?
yeah, I mean, we've seen two occasions, haven't we, where it's closed in. I want to say the early 80s, late 70s. People will know the exact date. That was $49. So I mean, it's not going to be £49, but um, it's possible. But it's the unrest, the uncertainty that surrounds that. What would make silver and gold go to that by the end of this year? That would be concerning. But I
Yeah.
think it will happen. It has to. There's currency debasement. It has to. Um, by the end of the year, I mean, I'll still be buying. But what is going on in the world for gold and silver to reach that point? It'd be interesting.
They would. Jack Stacks with a quite similar in the answers. He predicts silver at 31, gold at 2,800. Yeah, I'm probably in line with that. Nerd UK says 32 by Christmas for silver, 2,600 for gold. Yeah, I'll read a few more. A little bit higher on this one, Josh. Sound Money reckons £37 silver and £3,000 gold by the end of the year. So, yes, and I will read as well. Future Investments, good to see you, mate. He says gold £5,000 per ounce by 2030. You see, so the reason that I specifically didn't ask by the end of like say 5 years time is because so much could happen. Like you said, mate, historical data would suggest that gold is going to continue to rise. Within that rise, if you look at the years gone by as like a fluctuation in the graph, there will be dips, there will be surges, but all the averages out, there's little like peaks, and it's just slowly going up.
Mhm.
And it would not surprise me one bit if in 5 years gold's £5,000 an ounce. I think that's a good prediction. What do you think?
I don't disagree. I think it's certainly it's on the it's definitely not going to go to £1,000 an ounce. I think
No.
5,000 is much more realistic if I was to compare the two, but it's a lot can happen during that time, which I kind of understand why you said about by the end of this year. Um, it it all depends. Is there going to be is there going to be peace amongst different countries? Is another war going to start? Is there going to be much more demand when it comes to backing certain currencies with gold? Is it going to be, there's so much variations. It's all a guess. It's ultimately all on supply and demand. And if the gold price is going past £3,000 by the end of this year, how many more mining companies are we going to see that's going to want to extract gold? How much gold do we think's in the earth? No one knows. So it's an interesting time. I do think naturally it will go up.
Yeah.
And over time as well, it's fascinating because we would expect the technology to get better for us to extract gold, so it becomes cheaper, so it doesn't have to be so expensive to extract it. But
Yeah.
with the way things are going and the way we value it, it has to go up. I mean, the demand's going to be there. Um, the only thing that will stop it is by everyone selling. And realistically, is everyone going to sell it and consider it worthless? Well,
No.
five
It's
thousand, yeah, 5,000.
It stood the basis of
Yes,
time, mate. You know a lot more than me about the history of gold, and that's why I'm enjoying majority of this. Listening to what you're saying, I'm learning so much. It's great to hear how much knowledge you do have. But one thing I do know, and I think a lot of people have seen this as well, is that look at gold. It has withstood the chaos of thousands of years. It
hmm
has. It's always been a universal currency. So, is there any reason why that would change now?
it's tricky to say. It is tricky to say. I mean, we're in a digital era now. Could something digital replace it?
Oh,
Who knows?
do I
Who
mention the
knows?
do I mention the B word? I know you like talking about the B word.
We won't go on Bitcoin, but I mean, I like gold and Bitcoin. I buy both. I stack both. I love my gold. I love my silver. I like all three. So gold, I think in the long term, it will certainly go up. There'll be volatility. If you're thinking about buying gold, if you are watching and you're unsure and you bought at 26 and it's dipped, just don't worry about it. Especially if you're buying things that you like as well. If you're buying things that you like, I think sometimes we get caught in the feelings of our wants and going with our hearts and heads. If it's gold that you're using as savings, you've got to remember that how much has food prices gone up? It's 30-40%. If you kept that in cash, um you're going to lose anyway. So the good thing about gold is it's a scarce asset. It's only naturally going to go up in the long term. So I hate it when they report and they say it's only 2-3% of inflation, that sort of thing, because realistically, well, no, because bills, food, things like that is in the tens. So um, I think once you kind of look into gold and you understand why you're buying it and everything, I think naturally with the way the world's going, currency debasement, fractional reserve banking, and things like that, the uncertainty that there is, it will of course go up. It has to.
Yeah, I would. You've sort of touched base on this, but I'd like you to summarize if you can. So, if there is a brand new stacker listening to us right now, and mainly you, if they're watching this right now and listening to the points that you're making, what's the number one thing that you would drill into their head to save them from rookie mistakes? And that's in regards
Yeah.
to precious metals. What would your stance be on that, please?
Don't buy from the Royal Mint unless
Okay.
it's Yeah, I mean, unless you get them really nice now, don't you? They're doing like silver bars and things in those like plastic. I'd never what are they called. You know what I mean?
In the
It's like
plastic.
in like an assay card type
Oh
thing. They put them
yeah.
in there now.
Oh,
I,
like the Gothic crowns and like the four and stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So you pay a little bit more, but people like them. Like you know, you've got the premium on top of that. I know we think, and I'm bad for it as well because I know I do say to people, focus on the spot price with Britannias and things like that. I generally have a rule of thumb of not paying about £6 over for a regular bullion coin. If it's something collectible or you like it, who cares? Don't worry about it. Just, if it's nice and you like it, then someone else is going to like it as well. And this is what I say for things like another example, a bar I really like is the Archangel bar, the Scottsdale bar. You're not going
Yeah,
to get that at spot price. You're not going to get that over £6 over spot. You're going to be looking nearly 50 quid for that. But it's a beautiful bar. I would pay 50 quid for it because it's a beautiful bar. It's a terrible investment if you're thinking about it on paper, and you're going to be nearly 100% down straight away. But if you enjoy the collectability of it and you like it, then it's who's to say you shouldn't buy that collectible bar? That's a terrible it's it's different for people, isn't it? So you can sell it with the premium. That's the beauty of it. And
yeah,
things like I touch upon it now, like the Beskar bar. I remember when the Beskar bars came out in 21. I think they're much more popular now. And that was when the Mandalorian came out, and they were £28 a bar or something. And I don't know how much they are now, but I think they're nearly about £50 a bar as well. So it goes to show that the silver spot price is good. We base it on the silver spot price for our silver purchases. We look at that because we don't want to overpay for things that we think we can get less. We can pay for less. But you've got the premium as well. So I mean, if you sell into other stackers, other collectors, you just got to think about the exit strategy as well. So yeah, just not to worry so much about what you're buying. If you're enjoying buying it and you're not going into debt, because debt is very realistic with this sort of thing. I know there are people that go head first, buy as much as they can, burn out in 2 months, sell the stack. I wouldn't say to do that because you just want to space it out. So, every week buy a 1 ounce coin. Sandy does it. Sandy Millington, he says about buying a 1 ounce silver coin. I think that's great. You can
yeah.
buy different variations of things. Um, but I think the biggest thing, yeah, would just not go into debt with it. Don't go too crazy at the start. Don't think that you need to buy everything here and now. It's all going to be there in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months time. You don't have to buy everything. I mean, now with the silver purchases, I try and buy like I think I buy like one a week or something. Now, and I go on Cobra's auction. I see something, I buy it. And then the gold's different. If I'm trying to save, then I'll buy a gram of gold or whatever, or a sovereign or something. And if I need to liquidate it or keep it or put it in the deep stack, then I will. But the beauty of it is it's so you can sell it so easily, especially to other stackers and things, and you're keeping it outside of a bank account. Um, so I would say don't go into debt for any new stackers because it's really not worth it, not at all.
I think you've answered that absolutely brilliantly, mate. Thank you so much for that. I've got a quick fire question for you. So more of a yay or a nay before we move on, because I've got a few more questions personally for you, and shortly we'll move on to the chat. So guys, 35 of you right now in the audience, thank you so much. Start thinking again about those questions for our special guest, and we'll move on to you guys very, very shortly. I'm sure some people have some questions they're keen to ask you, but for you, a quick fire question, only a quick one, because I find it quite funny. 1 gram silver bars, yay or nay?
No, no,
We'll move on.
no. I hate them.
I just had to ask that. I'm the same, but yeah, they are out there. They are an infamous part
Oh
of
yeah.
the. But we'll move on. You've had so much success as a content creator on your channel. I believe you're
Thank
so
you.
close to 6,000 subscribers. So massive, well done. But
Thank you.
I'm talking about what I've seen and what you've done so far. But what I want to know as well, Josh, about the future. Your channel's been on fire with interviews and the stacking content. I love those interviews, by the way. But I want
Thank
to
you.
know, yeah, what's next for MacDonald Bullion? Do you have any exciting projects, collabs, or any big ideas brewing that your subscribers should be hyped for?
I it, so I've got some things in mind. I think a lot of it is the interviews. I love doing. I love doing the interviews. I love going to different places and speaking to them. But it's very tricky to get the time, both with the business and making it there. Um, I think with certainly, like, for example, with the Tavex one, that was an early start. That was a 4 in the morning start. Got a bus to London that took hours for the interview to do, and it was only during a set amount of time. So I really enjoy the interviews. I would like to do more interviews going forward. I have I have a company which I'll hopefully be doing something with soon. I'm not going to reveal anything too soon
No.
because it's still in the pipeline. Um, so there may or may not be another interview in London coming soon. Take that as you will.
You're
And
such a tease, Josh. Stop teasing us all.
I know I don't want to give away anything to it because
No,
it's still so early. So
it's fine, mate.
yeah, but there may be another interview fairly soon that's going to come out on the channel, and I'm going to go back to. So I'm buying a lot of silver bars at the moment, and I'll be doing a silver unboxing video quite soon. I've been gathering them for a video. So there should be quite a nice silver unboxing video that should be coming quite soon. And also, I think generally is just thinking I'm always keen on trying new things, adapting new ways of filming, trying to do something a little bit different, but also trying to do things that I like doing. Um, the YouTube side of things is good fun to do, and I really enjoy creating the videos because you're creating something, and when people say they enjoyed it, in part of me thinks like, really, like you enjoyed it, like
I know
I
what
did
you
it,
mean.
like I do it, I do it for me because I have to do it for me because otherwise it will feel like work. Um, so if I enjoy it and I think, oh, hopefully the viewer, if I can make the viewing experience a nice experience for someone that I can share it with that's interested in this sort of thing as well, and they tell me, I really enjoyed it or something, it's really nice. Like it's really nice for me to hear, and it encourages me to like, oh, maybe I'll go further and I'll, do another interview with someone else and. Because you don't like I don't know with the YouTube revenues and that you really don't earn much. um I think like my channel is monetized, but if I was to put it on a balance sheet, I I would I don't really make anything on it. If anything, I'm probably losing, but I do it because I enjoy it. Um, but when you combine YouTube with family life and everything, the family's really got to take preference. I've got a young family at the moment, so I'm juggling between work, family, and YouTube. I've just got to do it all in a balance. So hopefully, just going back on the point, hopefully we will have another dealer slash interview very soon. It's not recorded yet, it's not confirmed, but hopefully that will happen very soon. I've got a nice silver unboxing video of silver bars, which I've been accumulating, which I'm hoping to do soon. I just want to get it a bit bigger and do a bit of a mega unboxing. And just anything else that comes into my head, really. The gold videos, people really do like gold videos, but I want a combination of things. I want to do the gold and silver. Silver, I haven't done so much of this year. I want to try and go back a little bit to the silver as well. So just whatever springs into my head. Sorry, it's with the videos that I do. A lot of the times they just spring into my head in the morning, and I film in the afternoon. So,
I think they're
but
the best ones. And I'm
yeah,
talking to someone who's not done it anywhere near as long as you. I've got a long way to go. But what I can say and relate with you there is sometimes at the start, I put a lot of time into planning videos. Now I don't. I get ideas and I just go and do it. I just go and create it. I make it a reality. And like you said, and I think it's very important. Do things, especially with content that you enjoy. It's not a chore. It's not a job. Sometimes, like recently, I haven't uploaded a full format video apart from the podcast for like 2 weeks, and that's because I
Yeah,
haven't had anything that I've really felt compelled to do, or passionate about, or excited about. And the flip side of that is, I'm not going to force myself to do something because if I'm not enjoying making it, who's going to want to watch it?
yeah,
So that's important as well, and that also ties into like a work life health family balance, all of it. And I think you're doing a great job of that, mate, and I love what you're doing, and I think you'll go on to do great things, and I really wish you all the best with that. Something else that you've added to your another string to your bow recently, which I just want to quickly touch on, is you did your first auction on Whatnot, didn't you?
yeah, yeah. I did. Yeah.
How was that? Tell us about that.
I it was good. I really enjoyed. It was something that I wanted to do for a while. I've got bits and pieces that I wanted to put on there anyway. Um, it was good. Uh, I only had one mishap, and that was selling a 50p instead of a crown. But I kept, yeah, I went back to the buyer on that, and I hold my hands up. I sold you the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. Please don't shoot me. Um, but no, it's fine. Like I really enjoyed it. I think with Whatnot, I have spoken to them. They're a really nice bunch of people that is there. They're very helpful. They're very supportive. And I really enjoy buying on the platform as well. I mean, when you get credits and things like that when people sign up, and you both get like a little bit, and you can get like a little bit of a cheaper ounce of silver or something, and it's really convenient. Um, the vast majority of things, like when I would sell, is like eBay. eBay is really good. eBay is really useful. It's the default thing we think of when it comes to the marketplace, really. Um, but the bad thing about it is you got to wait 7 days or 5 days. I kind of want it to be, I like the appeal of Whatnot because you can say, would you mind running this? And it's like, yeah. And then it's like, I'm going to buy that, so, and you
Yeah,
can actually see the product. So I think it is a really good platform. I like the platform. As a buyer, as a seller, it's very difficult. Margins for gold and silver is very, very small. You
couple of
know,
quid.
it's literally paper thin. You really don't make anything really a little bit over what you paid. The vast majority of things you break even or lose out on.
Yeah,
That's the reality of it. That's the reality of gold and silver investing. Coin collecting, you might be able to make a little bit more on because people like the collections, or if it's like a collectible piece, people will pay a little bit more for. But it's really valuable for buyers, sellers. There's incentives to keep you on, which is great, and it is really nice. The people there, I've always had a good experience with. So I don't have anything bad to say about them. Um, I
no,
enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
I can vouch for that. I know there's a lot of people in here that are familiar with Whatnot. They've used it. I had the honor of doing a video for them as well. They got in touch with me, which I was really happy with. I was delighted,
Yeah.
and I had fun doing that. I had £100 free credit, and I went and had some fun. And I mentioned this as well because they do a lot, and I think they're having like another special event weekend next weekend, which will take place over, I believe, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So loads of cool things going on. Maybe worth checking out if you are looking for some deals. Check it out. But I also wanted to give a shout out to one of my closest friends, Siolfor Hordian, as very similar to what you did, mate. To see what that was all about. He's going to be doing his first auction on Whatnot, and I believe that's next Saturday, which will be about 10 o'clock. So if anyone's available and you're looking to purchase anything, go and check that out on Whatnot, and see what it's all about. That's all I'd like to add on that. But yeah, there's loads of good things going on there. And my stance on it, uh, with selling on there was discussed. I would lean towards being a buyer over a seller. However, there's so many sellers that are on there regularly, so that if you make it work, I guess if you have a certain strategy long term, it could work for some people. Maybe not for others. I don't know, but there's loads of options out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a good place as well because you see things that regular, like when you look on bullion dealers and things, you'll find things that are much more kind of, I suppose, you don't really see, because people will go to different places, bring them back, and sell them on Whatnot. So yeah, it is a really good. I think it's a good platform. I generally prefer it. It's my go-to platform, and if it's not on there, then I'll have a look on eBay. But yeah, it is good. I think it's pretty good, and it's I suppose it's it's going to be here to stay. It's the future of marketplace selling, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I like it. And I've got two more questions for you, Josh. Thank you for all your answers so far. You've given us so much and so much information. So thank you. But two more questions for me, then we will move on to the live chat. So the first one, it's a bit of a miscellaneous one. And I tried to think what's an interesting budget. And I'm going to give you, this is theoretical, okay, just for the purpose of the question. But I'm going to give you £5,000, but you've got to spend it in the next hour. What are you buying?
Oh, what on anything?
Um, what do you think? Should it be the metals or should it just be anything? I mean, if you can, do you know what? Yeah, whatever you want, right? I'd planned for the question to be like silver, gold, whatever, or maybe your Bitcoin. But yeah, just leave it as open as you receive £5,000 right now, but on the condition that you've got to spend it in the next 60 minutes starting now. What does Josh buy in the next hour?
I'd buy. I really want a Engelhard vintage bar. So
Ooh, what
I
size?
I'd get the 10 ounce. So I get a
Yes.
10 ounce. I'd buy it from America and pay the fees and whatnot. So I'd buy that. I really like that. I like the Vortex as well. I'd probably do the same and just pay the fees. Um,
It's all the fun.
I Yeah, I love the Vortex. The 10 ounce one. I love that bar. Um, I'd probably buy. Just going to end up buying 10 ounce bars now. Um, I'd probably buy a. I really like the Archangel one as well, the 10 ouncer. I'd probably buy that.
Yeah.
Um, I would I would put I would message someone like, I don't know, Charles or Cardiff Gold or something, saying, "Can I send you like £700 and you hold a 2026 sovereign for me?" Because because I know they're not available yet, but Craven's only given me 60 minutes and I need to put it in before before it
I'm
goes.
such a terrible person, you get all this money, mate, but you've only got 60 minutes. Any change, I want it back, okay?
No, yeah. And I'd probably I think I get another kilo. I'm just buying silver really, aren't I? I'd probably get another kilo. Um
How much is that right now? Obviously, not just the spot. How much are you paying for a kilo right now?
it's about a grand. You could buy it privately for about a grand now. Maybe just under 950 to 975, something like that, I think.
Well, some lucky individual in Stacker Social recently won a kilo, which was pumped up to do with shards as well. That was an amazing giveaway. Did you see that?
I did, yeah. And Silverpunk is Silverpunk in the room or something? May not
I
be,
don't
but
think he is this evening, but he did an amazing job with that because I think they were going to scrap that coin. It was an old one, Kate. They were just going to get rid of it, but they did something really creative and
yeah,
generous. And Stacker Social, Silverpunk, all involved. You know, and someone's gone and won that, and I
yeah,
think that's amazing. I really, really do.
yeah. And it is really like the thought and everything that goes into it. Like it's not only generous from them. I can't recommend Charts enough. They are just brilliant, brilliant staff, brilliant company. I think they're like the longest bullion dealer in the UK that's been going. I don't know. I think they are. A very good company. I always look on charts for things like sovereigns and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
And Silverpunk as well. I love the things that he does. I've got a piece from his, and like I bought it because I wanted it. I wasn't thinking of like the intrinsic value or anything. The time and effort and everything that he puts into his stuff
it's art,
is,
mate. I've
yeah,
spoken about this. He's been on the podcast a few times. I speak to him privately. He's such a gentleman. And there was once a time where because he made a video once, and I said to him just to touch on this point you've made quickly. I said I don't know what the video was. He said, but he spoke about pricing and stuff. And I asked him off the back of that. I said, Silverpunk, so do you really feel the need to justify your prices? Because I know he's heavily involved with a stacking community, but what he's doing is art. And I said to him, if somebody wants 1 or 2 ounces of silver, they can go and buy that from, say, Shards at a good price, like you said, right? But if
Yeah.
somebody really wants a piece because they like that piece, it's not about investing in the metal and selling it for a profit in 10 years. It's about buying it for that piece with his craftsmanship and his time. That's what you're buying. And I love what he does. He uses the old school sand casting method. I think he's incredibly skilled. And I've personally got 2 pieces from him. And I plan to get many more. I won't say what they are, but some people might know. But yeah, I love what he does. I really do. But it's totally different buying art in silver form than buying, some of the, because we talk about designs, but you can get a nice design on a bar, but it's still bullion. His is not bullion; it's silver poured.
Yeah, and the thing is, as well, is I'm fairly confident they're all one of a kind. The one that I've got from him is a 1 ounce. I mean, I think it's just over a 1 ounce piece,
Yeah,
and I paid like nearly 90, 100. But I loved it. I still love it. It's up in my house. Like I've got it on the wall. Um, and I just think it's fantastic. I love his stuff. And if I had the funds and everything to get the pieces that I really did want, um, he doesn't have to justify anything. The pieces that he does is fantastic.
I
Um,
agree.
and it just goes to show sort of with the Discord channel and bringing people together. You've got people from that's creating these, the pourers, the people like Coin Cutter, and there's a place for everyone, and there's a place for um, to sell and to meet like-minded people. I don't care that spot value is £30 or whatever for it. I buy things because I like them, So, um,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
And you
it's
said
yeah.
your answer was so much more advanced than mine earlier when we spoke about strategy and buying and different things. But I stand by what I said. Since April, I've learned a few things, and I've always said this one thing. I don't go any further because I don't think I've got the right to do so. I haven't been in the stacking game long enough. But I know for sure from my own experiences, when it comes to buying, whatever that may be, everything we've spoken about up until now, mate, if that purchase makes you happy and you're happy with how you've spent your hard-earned money, then you're onto a winner. Doesn't matter if someone tells you it's a bad investment or anything. You bought it because you wanted it, so you're happy. That to me is what's most important when we spend our money. Do you agree? Or
Yeah, I do. I do. Fundamentally, if you was to come down to the root of things, if you enjoy what you purchase and you like it, then who's to tell you that you shouldn't have it? If you're trying to find, the lowest premium gold coin to buy, and you're buying something that's 60, 70%, then perhaps that's something else. But if you're buying a gold back, for example, I don't buy these to invest. I buy them because I like them. So um, buy what you like. That's the fundamentals of it. I would agree with you. Yeah.
I would. There's one exception there, and I mentioned this before. The only exception I've got, and once again, nothing that we speak about on this show is financial advice. It's just opinions from our own experience. And it is of my opinion, Josh, that one thing that you shouldn't be buying that I do disagree with, don't be spending £4 or £5 on a 1 gram silver bound candy.
It's I've heard stories about people paying for them, like overpaying for them. Please don't spend that much. Yeah, it's silly.
It's
That
so
yeah,
good.
that is ridiculous. So don't go paying that. Yeah.
That's what I would say. Now, guys in the chat, we're going to be coming to you in just a second. I've got one more question, and I'll level with you here. I was unsure as whether I was going to ask this. When I started my journey on YouTube, Josh, I set myself a goal, and it was just because the way I work, I like to have a goal, whether it's realistic, ambitious, not realistic, whatever. I'd like to have a goal, something to work towards. If you haven't got that, it's hard to measure your success. And my goal was to get to, having started on the 1st of April, my goal on YouTube was to get to 1,000 subscribers. Now, I'm just below 500 at the moment, a few months in. Chances are, probably won't get there. However, if I do, I'll start making some regular content again, guys. But if I do, I said I would do this in return for those that support me. I said, if we get there, by the end of 2025, I will get a tattoo to mark the milestone. And the design of that tattoo would be chosen by all you guys. If you could run a poll, people could put their designs in, and that's what I would get. I'm a man of my word, and I stand by that. So, if a miracle happens and we do get there, and on that day something happens where I go, "Do you know what? Screw everyone's suggestions. I'm going to give the the needle to Josh." What are you good? What design you winking on me, mate? What would you recommend for that? And you're not allowed to say a cat's backside over my belly button. That is bad.
Um, how about a really big chibi? You wouldn't
A
have seen a
chibi?
chibi before. A chibi is a it goes back, if anyone kind of knows, with Cobra and the chibis, but there's chibis that are about they're like silver coins and things that you can get them in characters or something. But I would say you're gonna have to look up it after.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say you can have a Mortal Kombat Raiden chibi, life size, on your arm. I think that'd be good. I'm gonna have to send you a picture now.
Put it in the. Could you put it in the chat for everyone? Is that okay?
I will. Yeah, let me.
And just while you're looking for that, mates, I just had a bit of a chuckle to myself because you may not be, you probably won't be aware of this, but I somehow picked, because of a certain BBA, this Blister and Barnacle's Adventures, the People's Champion. I absolutely love the guy, but he has stitched me right up. He accidentally misspelt my name in a live premiere for someone's video on YouTube, and he put Caravan instead of Craven, and now everyone's calling me Caravan. And apparently I should be stacking with Caravan and change my logo to Caravan. So apparently I need to get a Caravan tattoo.
You could actually, because I can't put this in on my laptop. So scrap my idea. That sounds brilliant.
I can tell you one thing I'm not getting, guys. There's a certain picture floating around. I don't know if it's actually Nerd UK or what, but Nerd UK is responsible for sending it everywhere. And everyone's seen it once before. It's a guy naked on a ladder putting the Christmas tree decorations up, and he's like butt naked, but he's got this mankini on, Josh, and it's like the tightest fitted mankini ever. It's literally giving him a full on wedgie. I'm telling you all, I will let you choose, but I am not, under any circumstances, having that or that what Nerds just posted. Can you see the chat, Josh?
Let me have a look.
That's not the one, but yeah, I'm not getting that either. I don't know what that is. That's not Little John. No, that's not Little John.
Oh, the scrap my idea. These ones are much better.
And hello to William, by the way. It's good that you managed to get in here, mate. Just as we're moving over to the live chat, there's a few caravans coming in. Yeah, the chances are, Josh, I won't get there. But even if I don't, I'm really just enjoying the journey. And what I will say is, I never thought. I can't imagine what it's like for you with your success. It's inspirational, mate, and I mean that. I'm not just saying it.
Thank you.
But when I started, I'm sure this was the same for you. Started in April. I've now got nearly 500. I never expected to be here. Even when I set 1,000, I thought I'll probably get to 200 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But here we are, so anything's possible, and I encourage anyone who's tempted to make some content, just go for it. That's all I would say
Yeah.
on that. Just go for it.
Yeah, it is really good fun, and like you don't measure your success by subscribers. It took me, I think, 2 years to get to 1,000. So don't measure yourself on subscribers and things. If you're creating things that you like and you're creating videos that you enjoy and you're sharing your passion, your hobby, or documenting it, whatever it may be, then just do it. And if the goal is to increase the outreach, then all you have to do is just make a subtle difference, improve something just a little tiny bit at a time.
Yeah,
Improve the thumbnail slightly. Spend
I
a little
have
bit more
tried that.
time. And
Yeah,
sorry, what was
I
that?
say this is touches onto what you said before. Obviously, someone might see you could upload a video on Silver and Gold, which is say 6 minutes long. They get 6 minutes to enjoy that video, but that video could have taken you or me, whoever's making it. It could take hours.
Yeah,
From thinking of it, filming it, editing it, creating the thumbnail. doing the tags, doing the description, uploading it, just everything. It does take so much time.
It does, yeah, it does, and I think a lot of people, I've certainly had it. I've had two occasions when I've stepped away, just to have a break, because I think you do get into a bit of a zone where you're creating content for other people, and it feels a little bit like work.
Yeah,
So you just got
100%.
to, yeah, you just got to rein yourself in at times, and I'm bad for it. Like I do it. I'll create things and think, what does someone really want to watch? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and then once I film it and upload it, I think, I kind of want to do something slightly different, and it may generate less view. It might generate less views, but I want to come back to the reason why I'm creating it. The purpose that I do it for is fundamentally for me. I enjoy creating, and I
Yeah,
want to try and outreach to people that enjoy buying gold and silver. So I might word ways that, they might be a little bit clickbaity and things. Like, I totally get that. I totally understand. But if you don't enjoy what you do, you're not going to stick out with it. You're just going to you're just going to stop it, aren't you? So
yeah.
it's really important, really. Just don't worry about subscribers. They'll come if you enjoy it and you're making things that people want to watch. Then they'll naturally come.
I'll be honest. I stick by the 1,000 goal because I think it's fun, and I think people like the idea of these tattoo designs. But I have already come to the conclusion already that it's not about the subscribers really for me. I enjoy obviously the views when you actually see people are watching your videos. It's entirely different to people clicking once to subscribe. I appreciate the people that watch my views. And like you said before, mate, you said at the start, you make a video, you put the effort in, and the people that actually take the time to watch and comment and actually say, you know what, I really enjoyed that. I like this bit about the video, or could you make more of these? That's the real value for me. That's what gives me the most satisfaction. Even if 20 people have watched it, if those 20 people turn around and say, I really enjoyed this, that's the encouragement that really motivates me to make more. Because
Yeah.
I know that somebody's getting enjoyment out of it. And that's why, as much as I love doing these, people to say how much they like these on a Sunday, these conversations, we talk about the things we love, the silver, the gold, a bit about different special guests, such as yourself tonight, mate. People are here enjoying that, and that makes me happy.
No, I just appreciate you having me on. It's been ages since I've done a live, so yeah. No,
Oh, I
I
made
appreciate it. So
Honestly, mate, I appreciate it too. But we are on the segment now, Josh, where we focus on the live chat, and we may start to see some questions coming in, guys. Go ahead. Any questions for our special guests? Now's the time to put them in. I'll read a few comments I saw before. Teach72 says, Coin Cutter Little John tattoo. Now, that would be cool. That really would be. I think the other thing here, Josh, I don't know if you're aware, but there was the other thing. I kind of set myself in a trap, especially after what I've just said. If I didn't get there, I said, I'd have to sacrifice Little John. I'd have to send him to the
oh,
coin cutter. And now I get along with the coin cutter very well. He knows I love his work. He's here tonight. Thank you for being here. He's a great guy, and I plan to get some of his work very soon. But one coin I don't particularly want to send to him is my Little John, my precious Little John coin. And we said, if I don't get there to 1,000 by the end of the year, I'm sending that to him to be turned into a puzzle, cut apart forever. What do you think about that?
oh, well, I think he does a great job. Like, I saw, was it the he did like an Una, and I just think it's fantastic. Like, I've never seen it before. Little
No, me
John would
neither.
be a shame to go. That would be a shame, because I know how much he means to you. So that would be a shame to see him go. So yeah, we need to not let that happen.
And do you know what? For the first time, I get mocked for this every time. I really felt, and I mean this, I really felt sympathy in your voice. I could tell that you really cared about how I feel for my little John coin. So, Josh, thank you, brother.
That's all right. Anytime. Yeah, I'll look out for you.
Thank you, mate. That's what we're all here to do. When we're talking about content and stuff before, Brits and Sov said, and great to see you in here, Brits and Sovs, Top Geezer, East End Dave, 100%. If you make videos with passion, people can tell and are more likely to sub and watch. And that'll be in response to what you were saying before, Josh. So I
Yeah.
completely agree. Right, have we got some questions coming through for our special guests? What have we got? What have we got? Lots of memes. Right, Brits and Sobs is first in. Oh dear, here we go. Question: would you rather? I don't know who this is for. This is for you then. Would you
Right.
rather would you rather fight a Craven-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Cravens? You don't know how big I am.
That's a lot of Cravens.
It is. I mean, it depends how big I am, doesn't it? I could literally be sat here 4'5".
I'm gonna have to go for the big one, and hope that I can outrun it.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'd
you're
probably do the
surrounded
same.
by the 100, aren't you? You won't be able to get away.
You wouldn't be able to get away now. No, 100 of those things, you're being taken down, mate. You haven't got a chance.
Yeah,
One,
that's it then.
maybe you've just got to focus on the one, but 100 coming at you, you swing, you take out the first three or four, one bites your leg, one grabs your ear, starts pulling your hair, you're screwed. You're done. Game
That's it.
over.
Yeah, no, I'd go for the big one. Yeah.
Great question. BBA's posted a beautiful, is that a Philharmonica? It is. One of, it looks like the coin cutter's pieces of work. Absolutely love it.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's stunning. And you mentioned Una and Lion. He literally sawed out the Una and the Lion part. And just, yeah, watch this space. I think he's going to go on to do absolutely fantastic things. He already is, but I can't wait to see what the future holds. And once again, he's in here this evening in the audience, which is, I'm honored to have you, mate, listening there. So thank you. Right. Silver Machine says, do you buy locally or mostly online, Josh?
I mostly online now. I do go local on occasion. So Britannia Coin Company for Morgan dollars. I like Morgan dollars. I generally go to them. And
Yeah.
I think mostly online now, because everyone sells online. It's hard to get. I think with physical shops, you don't have many here, do you? So, and like the ones that are physical are generally like numismatic. They're usually quite expensive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, online I'd say is where I get the vast majority of purchases.
Me too, Josh. And you said there about the availability. I recently have had the pleasure of speaking to Vegas Stacker and Blue Collar on their podcast and on mine last week. One of them is the one
Oh
that
yeah,
they're the one that stitched you up with that "What is life?" question.
yeah.
But
Thank you so much.
I spoke to them about their experience just based on this question of like purchasing online and in store in person, and it's totally different in America. They've got so many options like local coin stores and stuff. It's a different game, and we know about the difference in tax regulations and stuff. So I think specific to the UK, I would guess most people go online, especially with how many options there are.
Yeah, and that's it as well. I mean, they're paying like a few dollars over spot. They could probably get a lot at spot. I mean, if we had the same laws over here that they do over there, I'd probably be stacking a lot more silver. Um,
Well,
but
yeah, you can get it close to spot. You're happy, aren't you? It's when you're paying
yeah,
VAT and a premium and postage goes
yeah,
on. Ah,
it spoils it for a lot of people. But yeah, it's totally different over there. I'd love to go visit and just maybe do an interview with a US coin dealer. That'd be fun.
mate, who's to write that one off? One day with what you've done here in the UK, I've told you how much I love your content and your interviews. I'd love to see that one day, but we will see. Who knows? I'll be honest. The questions are starting to fly in, Josh. I would ask you. I'll start reading through them. If you can, try and answer them. How can I put this? Try and answer them swiftly, if you can, so we can get through all the questions because I don't want anyone who's put the time to put a question in to miss out. Is that okay?
Yeah, I've got
It's
you.
kind
I've
of
got
like
you. Yeah.
you understand, like a quick fire round here. Let's go through
Yes.
some questions. So, Josh, Danny Millington, who I actually think this is Sandy Millington on Danny's phone, says, "What do you think is a good starting point for gold on a budget and considering the TABEX subscription?" I think that's meant to say.
If you're looking to get as low value, go for loose gram gold bars. If you don't mind and you're collecting, then just go for the grams. Or the 0.5s. I don't think I'd go for the 0.25s. I think they're about 60-70% premium. I think they're a bit too high.
Yeah, fair enough. Good answer. Joker's Wild 234 says, "Question for Josh MacDonald: Who do you enjoy watching on YouTube, if any channels apart from members of the community? Me, Sri Tips, Silver Dragons, and Yankee Stacker. They're the ones he likes. So, who do you enjoy watching on YouTube, if any channels apart from members of the community?"
Um, I like. Uh, I like Sean Oliver, Diary of a Coin Dealer. I like that. I obviously Backyard Bullion. I liked Spectacular actually. His interviews. The whole reason really why I started the interviews was because I really enjoyed watching his videos with the coin guy over in Florida.
Yeah,
And I know they do a lot of interviews over there. So and there was nothing here. So I thought, I'll just do it. So probably Spectacular. I like him. Um yeah, I'd say those are my main three at the moment.
yeah. I've seen all those myself. I couldn't argue with that. Some great suggestions. Nerd UK. I think this is about that question before. You know, with the 100 Craven-sized ducks and stuff. Nerd UK says, "I slightly drunken Craven-sized duck." Diaxis says, "Imagine a 100 little Cravens attacking. You would just have to throw a bag of knickknacks and toe punt them when they ain't looking." Yeah, yeah. The knickknacks, they get anyone. Josh, really important question, mate. Do you like knickknacks?
I haven't had them in a long time, but yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
I was I think it's a couple of weeks ago. I was running low on the stuff to give away, you know, and a lot of it is generously donated from the community that I do give away. But I thought I want to chuck something in here. I don't really have anything, so I got creative, as we all try and do, and I put in a bag of knickknacks. I think that's an absolute amazing prize. But I felt really bad in the end because I was waiting for some other bits to arrive before I could send it. I ended up eating the bag of knickknacks, but
What
they did.
flavour?
It was there was ribs and saucy, which is the purple one, and nice and spicy, which is the orange one. They're both
Yeah.
lovely. So they didn't get what was promised. However, because I felt bad, and you can decide if this is fair as a replacement, I put in a box of Jaffa cakes instead. Is that fair?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
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 Is that a
I think
biscuit
that's
or a cake?
better. That's better.
Yeah. Is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake?
It's cake.
Yeah, I'd say so. Jaffa
That's,
cake. Yeah.
yeah, it's cake. It's not
Yeah.
biscuit. Yeah, no. No, not with the orange jammy stuff in it. No.
You know that I've come away from the chat when the questions go like this. It's definitely come from me and my silly mind. Let's get back on track, guys. Villainous Bounty says, question for Josh: will January be your first time in Berlin? Oh yes, great point, great question. If so, what are you looking forward to the most? You've been Berlin before, haven't you, mate?
I didn't go this year. I had planned to go this year. I had some things which meant I couldn't go, but
Yeah.
I I've got next January booked. My flight is booked, my hotel's booked. So I'll be going. I'll be looking for. I want to get those World Money Fair kookaburras.
Oh,
That's top of my list. That's it. That's all I'm really looking for. I'm not looking at buying anything else. I'm just looking at just going around, having a little look, speaking to people, saying hello to everyone, and see if I can try and get some kookaburras.
nice. Myself and Miss Stacking with Craven are going, mate. So it would
Oh,
be a
great.
pleasure. It would be a pleasure to catch up with you there. That would be really nice.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It goes to everyone else as well. If you are going to Berlin, I'd be happy to meet anyone and say hello. Just yeah, yeah, be
Yeah.
happy to meet anyone.
Anyone in here who is going Berlin, drop a message in the chat to let us know. And like Josh said, I echo that. I'd love to meet all of you. So far, I've not met a single person in the stacking community in person. No one. So there we go. It would be lovely to do so. So the Mercian metal detecting. Good to see you, mate. Question for Josh: which Western economy do you think will crash first? Dollar, pound, or euro? I wouldn't have a clue where to start with that question, mate. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the dollar goes, then the domino falls for everyone. I think. Um, I think the dollar. I think the dollar.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's an
I'd
answer.
say the dollar. Yeah, yeah.
Is there like a brief reason as to why, or is that just a gut feeling based on
I
what you've seen in the world?
I think if I was to, I mean, there was the eurozone crisis pretty much recently, wasn't there? But if I was to kind of hazard a calculated guess, I'd say that I think the US are of $34 trillion in debt at the moment. They're the biggest company, but biggest country, sorry, the largest economy. I think they raised $1 trillion in a month or something extra, something like that. Um, the carpet will be pulled. If I was to take a guess out of those three, I'd probably say the big daddy of them all, and I'd say the US. But could there be a reset? Could there just be a recalculation? Could there be a new dollar? Who knows? But that's what I would go for.
And a really, really, it's a difficult question, but a good question. I was interested to hear your answer there as well. Maybe the dollar, if that was to happen. Shiny, shiny silver. Thanks for the question, mate. Question for Josh McDonald. If you could have Royal Mint make any coin design that you wanted just for you, what would it be?
Oh my god.
You get some hard
Um,
questions, mate, on the spot. I mean, these are the ones you can't plan for, right?
yeah, that's very true. If I could get them to design something, I think I would like a. They've probably done another Gothic, but I'd
I really
probably
like
say
your
another.
lining. You know, on your logo. Sorry to interrupt, but your logo. I've got your sticker here, which I actually got the last one. Can you confirm that for credibility? I got the last one, didn't I? At the
Yes,
time,
that's the platinum gold rarity. Yeah, that's the one.
it's a VIP one, guys. You know, limited
Yes.
edition, one of one mintage. Some would say. I'm only joking, but it was the last one. But honestly, this on like a round or something by the Royal Mint, just it's beautiful, mate. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've checked. I mean, those that have known me for a few years, I've changed my logo loads of times. But no, I appreciate that because it's my most up to date one. So yeah, thank you for that. But if I was to answer your question, go back on the question, I'd probably say I like the Gothic design. You know, the I want to say the 1849 Florin.
Yeah,
They've probably done something recently of that, but if I was to go, I'd love like a maybe like a 2 ouncer of that um in a
that'd be nice.
coin. That would be nice. Yeah, with a coronation portrait, that'd be fun. Um, that's what I would have. Maybe a like a an error coin as well. That would be even better. You know, the head upside down or something, and I'll stick it in auction. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to come across an error coin, but that's a really good answer, mate, on the spot as well. And I have to warn you, there's a few more questions here. You're going to have to answer on the spot because
Oh,
they're very similar. Nothing to worry about, but just like, what would you do if you had this or that? So keep the thinking hat on, mate, because Christy says you have 10 ounces of molten silver. Who would you ask to pour it, and what style or theme would you ask for? Great question, Crispy.
I'd say Silverpunk, and I'd say, can you design me like the piece that I've got from him is like a little Picasso piece. I'd probably ask him, would you mind doing me a I don't even really mind like something of maybe Picasso or something to go on the wall. That's what I'd probably say. And that's a nice piece as well. That would go on the wall quite nicely, probably quite heavy.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would stay on. Uh, I'd have to
hopefully.
glue it. Yeah, I'd have to hammer it in or something, but um
If
yeah,
Silverpunk
I
called it, you'd have to send him a note, you know, like a request from buyer, special request. Can you send the hammer with it, please?
yeah, I'd have to say as well, just, you know, yeah, some nails and that, and I that's what I'd probably say. I think that'd be a really good piece.
I
Um,
do as well.
yeah, I really like his stuff. That's what I'd go for.
Yeah, no, good answer to a good question. Baron Bamsky, question for Josh. If Silver Bullion only had oh God, here we go. If Silver Bullion only had a Spurs badge on them, how many
Oh my
Silver
god,
Bullion coins would you own?
none, absolutely none.
Terrible investment.
Bloody
Terrible.
yeah,
Don't buy silver.
don't bloody buy silver, Jesus, if that
I know what
happens.
your next thumbnail would be. It would be the big red lighting with a crossover saying, "Don't buy silver; it's gonna crash." You know, like the big
Oh
milk ones you see. There's a few YouTubers that are guilty of that. They say, "Oh,
yeah.
don't buy silver; it's gonna crash." This is what they don't want you to know.
But the thing is, as well, is even if silver drops in price, you'll still have the premium. So, yeah, I mean, people's not going to be buying a Vortex bar and selling it for going off the spot price. They're going to go off the premium. So, silver's a good savings account anyway, regardless. But yeah, God, if that happened, I wouldn't buy any silver. I'd sell it all. I wouldn't have any of it.
Look, I will add to that as well, Baron. I don't know if you're a Spurs fan. Sorry if you are, buddy. Maybe you said that because you know that Josh is an Arsenal fan, and I love that from the banter. But as a United fan, I wouldn't be buying silver either. I'd keep what I've got that doesn't have that on, and I'd just save up for gold. If that's all that was available going forward, I'd buy. I'd stick to the vintage stuff. But really great question, mate. I love that. Whacker Badger, question for both. Oh, thank you. There's a question for me in here as well. If you could only buy from one mint for the rest of your stack, what mint would it be? I've got two, but you go first, Josh.
I think Scottsdale. I think I like everything Scottsdale do. That's what I'd go for.
Yeah, well, since you said Scottsdale, my answer was I always have the same two. I say the Perth Mint and I say Scottsdale Mint. Since you said Scottsdale, I'll say the Perth Mint. I think they both do a fantastic job, and I think that's a fair answer to the question. Really, really good mints. And that question comes up a lot. And do you know what? Those two mints are always in the mix. So I think it speaks for itself. You know.
Yeah. They always like I remember being asked a few years ago as well, and I think my answers haven't changed. It's Perth and Scottsdale. I think in terms of design, though, I think it would be a cross between Scottsdale and the Royal Mint. I love the Royal Mint's designs. I just hate their quality control.
Yeah, there's a whole conversation there for another day about milk
Yeah.
spots. We won't start it now, but yeah, we all feel that pain. We do. If they could do Britannias with the same durability, shall we say, over time as like a Canadian maple, I'd be very happy.
Yeah,
That would
definitely.
make me happy. But I guess it's to do with cleaning pan chips and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get technical. We'll move on. Right. So Diaxis, just with a good comment I want to read. If I get over to the USA, 100% going to Harry's and Tim's coin shop to get a US coin to remember my trip. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. That would be lovely. Brits and Souls replied saying, ain't they at opposite sides of the country? I don't know. Probably. Who knows? Question. Here we go. There's one for me here. Josh from Bo47. Thanks for joining, Bo. And he says, question for Caravan. When did you realise you was rubbish at poker? Tim for a friend. Yeah, of course you are. Do you know what, Bo? I have good days and bad days. Sometimes you put me off because you're like the world's #1 heckler. But we do have a good old laugh on poker in the Whiskey Lounge here at Stacky Social. I don't think I'm actually too bad at poker, to be fair. You know, I've taken you out of the table a few times. You know, there we go. Do you like playing poker, Josh?
I do. I can't remember how to. Is it like Texas Hold'em or?
Yeah, yeah. Everyone, it's like you get 1,000 virtual chips on the one that's on Discord anyway. It's like £10 blind, $10 big blind, $5 small blind starts off, and yeah, just a bit
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. I like it. I like it. I'd have to. There'd be teething issues. I haven't played it in years, but no, it's good. I like poker.
It's a totally different ball game on Discord because it's virtual money, so people aren't protecting their real life money and thinking about it. People just go all in every round. So it's like, yeah, okay, I've got a free high, but I'm going to go all in. But yeah, we have great fun. And if you're ever free and bored on a Wednesday evening late on or on a Saturday, join the Whiskey Lounge on here, Josh. There's poker games going on there. We have a good laugh, honestly. It's really fun. So
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it.
yeah, there we go. What else have we got? I'm waiting on my knickknacks. Oh, Tony, I don't know when you joined, my friend. I have a confession to make. I don't know if you've received the parcel yet. You should have done. I sent it out at the same time as Villainous Bounties. He's got his, so let me know if you've got that. But yeah, I ate them, and I did replace them. There, we just spoke about this. I did replace them, but I hope you can forgive me. Okay. Nerducate, it's in the name, Caravan. Yeah, there we go. Danny Millington says, Josh, what's your desert island piece? The one thing that you could never sell. Money is no object. Oh, it's from Sandy.
Oh my god.
You're getting all the good questions tonight, my friend.
I am. Yeah. What's my favorite?
Just
I
while you're
really.
thinking, just
Yeah.
really quickly, no one will understand this, but some people might. Let me know if you get this. Diaxis, code 4, Little John, proceed. There we go. Carry on as you were.
Uh,
Just talk about putting someone off the answer of a question.
I think I like the. Do you know that the Waterloo medal the Royal Mint did last year? I think.
Oh yeah, do you know what? I've seen some of these medals. I don't know if I know the exact one, but I've been tempted by some of the medals, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I was, that's always been what, like I remember putting that in my basket. I don't buy proof coins. I used to buy proof coins, but I haven't bought them in years now. And I remember having that in my basket, and I was toying with it. I was like, shall I not? And I've gone, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'd say that because I haven't got it, and I think it's a really lovely. I think it's a coin, a medal, something like that, 2 ounces, but it's a really lovely design. I think I'd probably say maybe that.
Yeah. You're coming up with some
Yeah.
solid answers, mate. To be fair, you're being put on the ropes every couple of minutes here, and you're finding a way. You're like literally Rocky Balboa when it comes to a Q&A. I take my hat off to you, mate. Honestly, but I have to
Thanks.
break something to you, Josh. There's
Yeah.
more questions, and so everyone knows. I'll make this public now. The little code thing I said about Little John to Diaxis is because now in the background, the person I call my producer because of everything he does to help with this podcast, Diaxis is taking all of your names. So if you want to be in a chance to win the giveaway this evening, well, you need to stay in because he's taking names down now. So don't be leaving and then joining back afterwards and complaining or anything like that. We are doing a little juicy giveaway. And if you want to be in, stay in because he's taking names now. So stay in and that's all you have to do. I'm not asking for much. If you stay in now, you're in with a chance of winning. But whilst Axis is doing that in the background, we have more questions for our special guest. The Mercian Metal Detecting says, you'll have to help me here, Josh, because I don't quite get this. I don't know if it's specific or what, but question for
Yeah.
Josh. Victorinox or Leatherman? Have I read that right?
Uh,
Victorinox or Leatherman? What's that?
oh, I'd have to ask you to elaborate because I'm not sure. Hang on.
I don't know what a Victorinox is. Am I being daft here? Have I read that wrong? Victor Victorinox or Leatherman? That's all it says.
Can I? I'm gonna get my laptop and type it in. Sorry, I don't
It's
really.
okay.
I'm not
I tell
sure.
you what, I'm still moving through the questions. The Mercian, we won't leave that out. I'll keep scrolling through. Can you put another question in, or just elaborate on that? I promise you, we'll find your next follow up, and I will. Yeah, put a follow up. And Josh, if you want to Google it, mate, feel free. But there's plenty more questions for you whilst we wait for that.
Yeah.
Question. This is from Nerd UK. Question for Josh: 1 ounce gold maple, Krug, or gold eagle, and why?
Oh, Gold Eagle. Yeah, it has to be.
And why?
Worldwide known. It's lovely. I prefer the design out of all of them. I think. The maple's lovely, but yeah, I think I go for the American one. Yeah, I just like the design better. I think.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I had a feeling that you were going to go for the maple. I don't know why.
A lot of people would, and I kind of understand why. I just think that I just think I would go for the American one. I don't have any. I've got some eagles and things in the deep stack, like some silver ones I haven't seen in ages. But um, the maples, I've got maples out and things that I film with. It's probably just because I don't see them very often. Um, I'd probably say the American one. But the maple's lovely. The maple would be a close second. Krugerrand's third, but the Krugerrand's the OG, I imagine, the original of.
Well, yeah, 100%. That's was it 1970 something? When did the first Gold Crew come out?
I think it was 72, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah,
72?
72. Because the actual Silver Krugerrands, the first one came out to commemorate 50 years of that. I'm pretty sure. Um, so that would make sense. Yeah, I think 2000 and oh, I don't know. There's been what about six? How many years of Silver Krugerrands now? 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah, I would take a guess. I would say
2000.
either 72 or 74, one of the two, I'm
Well,
sure.
Silver Krugerrands, I think 2017 it was the first one, and that was to commemorate 50 years. So what's that? 1977? No, my maths is terrible. 1967 maybe. I don't know, guys. I don't know. 1967. Let's go with that. That was when they bought the Gold Krug out. Does that sound about right? Somebody
Yeah,
let us know.
let's go with that.
Somebody who even knows or has got Google there. I haven't got these things. It makes me sound silly. I don't know, but yeah, I do love a Krugerrand though. Simple, elegant. I like it. Really nice and good price as well. Now, something that's caught my eye here. I'm gonna have to call this out. I'm afraid. This is Sandy Millington on Danny Millington's phone, and this is about the poker. And Sandy says, when you've taken down 3 to 4 casinos, then we can talk poker. I'm sorry, mate, but like, yeah, I don't know what to say to that, mate. You've not taken down 3 to 4 casinos. Let's just come on, come on. If you've taken down 3 to 4 casinos, you're going to be laughing in a pile of sovereigns, aren't you? Let's be honest. And if you have taken that down, you're disguising it well. But I am not that good at poker. But there we go. I would like to go to a casino though. I've actually never been to a casino.
I
Who's
don't think
thinking?
I have.
Have
I
you
don't
not?
think I have. No, I don't think I have. I've never really like. I think the only times I've even made any type of gamble or anything is probably on when the Euros and the World Cup's on, and I just go for just complete random who I think's going to win.
Ah, that's fair enough. Yeah, and it's always fun to do, but I
Yeah,
don't like doing anything on England during international competitions because I have a feel it will curse them. So I try and avoid that.
yeah.
Brits
Too
and Sob
stressful.
says, sorry, mate. Yeah, Brits and Sob says I really need to go. Got to be up at 4 for work. Can you please stick me in the
Ooh.
wheel? Yeah, Diaxis, I think that's fair. Brits and Sobs has been here. He's got to be up at 4, so absolutely, you can go in the wheel. What have we got here? BBA says, I brought some nice coins and medals a couple of days ago. Nothing special, but I like them. Yeah, I don't own any of the medals. Have you got some of the medals, Josh?
No, I don't. I mean, I've got like my own personal ones, but I've got nothing that I've collected. But I saw BBA. I saw your photo. Yeah, you look like you got some nice coins there.
Yeah, 100%. Right, we've got some confirmation on what that question was before, mate. So a Victorinox is a Swiss Army knife. And then the Mercy
Yeah,
said Swiss Army knife or a plier-based pocket tool is the question. Thank you, Mercy and BBA.
yeah. I have no idea with DIY. I'm the worst person for it, but I would probably say a Swiss Army knife would my at least you. I think you've got more on there, or am I being totally wrong?
I don't.
Um,
Yeah, it's not
I
my.
don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I've got no DIYs. I've got no clue with Swiss Army knives, Leathermans, that sort of thing. But I would go with the guess of Swiss Army.
I'm the same, mate. I've got absolutely zero DIY skills. The missus is far better than me at that. I've got to be honest. And yeah, not long ago she bought like a new deck, like a pop-up desk thing, and she had to do something. And she was like, "Oh, I'll come and help you when I've done that." I was like, "No, no, no, I'll do it." And she was shocked to see that I'd nearly done it by the time she got back. No trust there at all. It was like the easiest thing ever, though. I think it had about 6 components.
Yeah, the furthest I go is IKEA furniture, and that's usually a full day of swearing and throwing things.
Oh
That yeah,
God, yeah, that's my worst nightmare. If someone's got IKEA furniture they need putting up, I'm ill that day. Okay, I'm busy. I'm doing something.
yeah.
Benson's coins, my friend. Question for Josh: do you reckon there is any gold in Fort Knox?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I do think there is. I don't think they're all. Yeah, I don't know if it would be pinpoint accurate. Probably not. I'd say no, but yeah, I think there is. I'm sure there is, but I do think a reevaluation will come. When that will be, who knows? Hopefully soon, and we'll all be well off with our gold.
There we go. Yeah. Question from Diaxis saying to me, stacking with Craven, is Little John going in the wheel for a bonus respin? Something I've done recently, Josh. I put Little John on the spinny wheel, which we'll do shortly. And if his name gets drawn and he wins, we'll actually re-spin the wheel. I'll add something else to the prize. I was feeling generous last time.
Wow,
'Cause we gave away a defaced Silverpug Queen's Beast completer bar, which was beautiful. I was kind of jealous, to be fair, because
nice.
I had it for a week to stare at, and then I had to see it go. But it went to a good home with Vilma's Bounty. So, okay, guys. Since we have got a very special guest on, Josh MacDonald, and from my experience with Josh, something that we both share the love of in stacking is silver half crowns. So,
Yeah,
what I will do, once again, it doesn't mean it's going to be one, but I will say this: put Little John in Diaxis. If Little John wins and spin the wheel, we'll respin it, and then I will add a silver half crown to the giveaway bundle. And I'm going to show that in a couple of minutes because we're going to move towards the giveaway, guys. So Let's see if there's any more last questions. I think Josh has answered plenty of questions, to be fair, guys. We've got plenty here, to be fair, but let's see if there's any more I've missed, because so many have come through tonight, Josh. I appreciate you answering them all.
No, that's fine. That's fine. As you know, as long as whatever. Like, I'm happy to answer any more if anyone has any more, or we're coming close to 9 o'clock now, so.
Oh, mate, that's lovely. Stacking with Craven. This is from Benson's. Is Terminator being added to the wheel? No, he's not. Absolutely not. Josh, I can't see any other questions right now, so I'm going to ask you. Do you know about the story of Little John and this horrible beast called the Terminator that's coming after him that doesn't
No,
understand? Do you not know?
no, I don't know. Enlighten me, please.
Oh, this is awkward, really. Now I've like bigged it up. Now when I explain it, probably sounds really sad.
There are no judgments.
There are no
promise.
judgments. Thank you, my friend. So, this guy right here, that's Little John. Okay, you'll recognize him from the Myths and Legends collection from the Royal Mint. Yeah, Little John, Robin Hood
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
He's the mascot. He's the guy, and I include him in a lot of my content. I have fun with it. And Siolfo Hodian, also a good friend of mine, he has introduced the Terminator to his content. And he's got a problem with Little John. He's coming after him, So I've got a question for you, and I'm not asking you to pick sides. It's not about that. It's not about
Thank God.
content creators. You won't be saying thank you in a second, but yeah, it's about these characters. Now, even if you don't know much about Little John, I don't want you to judge a book by its cover. Okay, he's a man with a staff, and he's very, very capable. Who do you think would win in a fight between Little John and the Terminator?
I'm really sorry. It's got to be the Terminator, isn't it?
Oh, do you know what, Josh? There was a really bad signal there, but I completely agree. Little John would win in a fight. Thank you so much for that answer, mate. We're going to move on with the questions.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry, Little John, but
No, fair enough, mate. Yeah, that's 1-0 to the Terminator. We're going to have to accept that, and the Little John's a little bit upset, but we'll accept it. We'll accept it. Will's Bullion says, uh, Benson, shush, don't reveal it. Don't reveal it. Will's Bullion says, Craven, how did Little John become your favourite coin? Honestly, I don't know what your thoughts are on the actual Bullion coin, Josh, but for me, I actually think it's a stunning design. I really do. Jokes aside, I think that the Myths and Legends are all lovely. There's many more I need to get. I'm working on getting King Arthur. I think it's a really nice coin. There's not much more to it. Well, what do you think, Josh?
good. Yeah, I remember when they came out. I didn't buy any of the Myths and Legends. I feel terrible because I really don't know much about it. But I know that I like. Is the coin that you've got, the Little John, do they milk spot a lot, or because I remember there was a big milk spotting issue at the time? Is it okay, or
Um, it's mine's okay, but I've looked because I'm trying to find a nicer one than what I got.
yeah,
Just as I say, with those, it's the collection side. So it's not about stacking them. I'm not going to get loads. So it's not like buying Britannias, and I don't really care.
yeah,
Some of them are, yeah, definitely. But I think that is a Royal Mint thing. I'm not trying to put the Royal Mint down. I love the designs. I love what they're doing. They release something new every week, near enough. However, I do think Royal Mint Silver milk spots more than other mints. I do. It's just what I've seen. Mine doesn't have necessarily any milk spots, really, but I've seen them on other ones. Like when I'm like looking for a better one on eBay, you see loads on there, and they're milk spotted. Especially when you're paying a premium for a Little John anyway. You don't want to pay a premium for a one that's got milk spots.
yeah. And the good thing about those types of coins, I remember when they came out, and they weren't the type of coin that I would buy, but with these like commemorative type coins, especially because I think the Little John was the very first one. I think. Please
Was
correct
it
me if
not?
I'm wrong.
I don't know for sure. Was it not Robin Hood first? I don't know. I thought it
Oh,
was Robin Hood.
I
You got
think
Little
I think
John,
yeah, I think you might be
Arian.
right. I think you might be right. But it's not going to apply for this, but usually when it comes to coin collecting and silver and gold, the first of anything, especially commemoratives, are the ones to get. I used to like buying the Monarchy series, the proof coins from the Royal Mint. There was a
Yeah,
Monarchy series they released in 2020, 2021, something like that, and I was buying the full collection, and then they stopped it. But who's to say that the last one of that one could have a lowest mintage because no one was buying it, so it might become popular. It's interesting coin collecting and gold and
it is.
silver, but you know, some things that aren't popular at the start can become hugely popular for collectors later on.
Perfect example of that. You know, I said to you, Josh, that I'm not personally a fan of the rose gold sovereigns because
Yeah,
when we switch back to the yellowy gold, they will then, in terms of history in times to come, they will only have been minted, produced for a smaller period of time compared to the rest. So they'll be, potentially at that point, for those collectors out there, they might be more desirable. I might be completely wrong, but that example, the way you worded that, could relate to them in the future. What do you think?
yeah, I think so. It's the collection, isn't it? We value the collection over the spot value. The gold itself, people prefer the yellow ones, generally the look and everything, but also that for the same price they're going to be paying for an older yellow one, they're going to get a brand new rosy coloured one. And I think they think of it the same way as that. But I mean, in the future, when they stop doing it and they've only made it for 20 or so years, people will like buying them. People will date run them. So
Uh,
the
I have
things that,
about
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on. Sorry, mate. No, go on.
I was just going to say the ones that people aren't buying is worth having at least one of, because I find that in the future people do like collecting things that are obscure and that no one else really has.
I think that'll be the case, very much so. I guess for me, although I don't own any gold yet, and I've been open and honest about that, just part of my journey. I'm not there yet. Um, when I come to buy gold, just from the color alone, I want to know and feel that I'm buying gold. From what I've seen, and I've seen the rose gold ones in person in shops, don't feel like it's gold when you put it next to the yellowy one.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because
It
of that
yeah.
coppery color.
Yeah, it just look feels a little bit off, doesn't it? And you're spending all that money, you kind of expect gold to look a certain way, and when it doesn't, although we know it is going to be gold, we kind of want it to look better than the rose gold one. I don't know, but yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
that's
get
it.
it. I think
It's just
the yellow ones will be really popular next year. They'll be really popular.
that was my plan all along. I was hoping to get one. Um, I don't know how it works, if they'll take pre-orders or what. They come out in January, the new yellow ones, the 2026 version of the Gold Sovereign. I don't know when we'll be able to put our money down for them. Do you know any more on that?
No, me myself, I've been trying to find out more information on that as well. Um, but with the security feature and everything, the main problem when it comes to sovereigns is you've clearly got the cheap, rubbish, fakey looking ones, which are terrible. You just
Yeah.
have to be really careful with the Middle Eastern ones. Definitely purchase like between the 50s and 70s. A lot of them are around about 20, they're just off like 20 carat and stuff, so they might pass certain gold tests. Um, but I mean, they're still gold, but you just have to be very careful because there are a lot of like fake sovereigns around. So
Yeah.
yeah, next year it'll be interesting. I think they'll be really popular. I'm hopefully going to get one. I just have to do a little bit of saving for one. But I think they're just gonna people's just gonna want the newer ones with those security features, knowing that it's like a Britannia, and they're gonna be rather. It's gonna be a price point. They're gonna rather the sovereign, I think. But
And like
um,
you said, it's the first of a new generation, so then naturally, it's
yeah,
not a sovereign has been around for hundreds of years, but the 2026 is the start of a new generation. Therefore, it
yeah,
becomes a first of a kind again. With new security features and stuff, it will become desirable because I imagine for years to come after, they'll all be the same, but the 2026 one may have a potentially, I don't know, might have a slight premium. You might be talking 10, £20, but it's
yeah.
something.
Yeah, maybe. I think we fall back on as well when they changed over to removing silver from the alloy of sovereigns. Were people saying in 2000 or whenever they swapped it over, or they're swapping over to copper? Would it be better? But then we didn't. The internet isn't what it is now. It's all of supply and demand. So it'd be interesting to see. But I think they will be really popular with a lot of people. And I think I don't know where that will fall the older sort of sovereigns. I think there will still be a demand, but certainly people coming into it, they'll be looking at a Britannia and a sovereign, looking at the price point of view with it, and thinking if they're going to buy it perhaps privately, they'll just rather just pay the same price and get a Britannia with a security feature that they know is genuine. But I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I could be totally wrong with that. I prefer the older ones because I like history. So, and I think there are a lot of people that like history as well. So I think there'll always be a demand for sovereigns, whether they're new
Uh,
or old.
I could talk all day about my fascination with the history behind it. We talk about silver half crowns, whose hand that's been in. Some
Yeah.
Victorian bloke 100 years ago could have bought a pint with one that I whip out of this tube shortly, but who knows? We've got a few more quick questions, and then I'm going to reveal what's in the giveaway. I'm then going to bring my producer, Diaxis, into the call to spin Little John's Wheel of Wonder. Last few questions, guys, for Josh, who's answered so many. Thank you so much. Steel City Stacker says, "What's up, peeps? Thank you so much for joining." Crispy question: gold backs, fancy gold foil, or useful stack or currency? So basically, what are your thoughts on gold backs, mate? You've got some nice ones there on your camera.
Yeah. I like them as a collector's piece, and that's as far as I go with them. I don't use them to stack. I just like collecting some of the gold backs. I think the premiums and things you can't really use them here in the UK as opposed to some places in the US, but I think they're just I see them much more as a collectible rather than an actual currency to spend.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Diaxis also. This is going back to the sovereigns. Sorry, there's a good answer on the goldbacks. I don't have much to add to that because I don't own any. I just think they look cool. They're worth intrinsically about half of what you pay, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So at least yeah, Blue Collar is actually here. Hi, Blue Collar. It was him who I was speaking to on a podcast recently who pointed that out. At least you're getting half of something rather than paying for nothing. So there we
Yeah.
go. It's probably not best to stack for investment, but they are a novelty potentially. Diaxis says I'm getting a 26 Sov as soon as they drop. Yeah, me too. Hopefully, that's what we were just saying. Benson says get Sovereign from Atkinson. Yeah, loads of options out there, mate. Loads of like I say, you got Shards, Atkinsons. There's loads. There really is. Blue Collar Stacker question for Josh. Oh, we've just answered that one, Blue Collar. I'm sorry. He put in capital right into Goldbacks question mark. Yeah, we've just touched on that. You put that quite nicely. I hope you heard your answer as well on that. But yeah, I think they look lovely. Probably not the best. Well, probably not the best investment.
No, they're not an investment. Nice to collect here. You can spend them in the US. You can't really spend them here. Could change. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. Right. Just seeing if there's anything more, guys. Probably show the giveaway. Nope. Right. I'm going to call it there. Josh, you've been a superstar with the questions, mate. Thank you so much. There's quite a lot to go through there. But this is the segment, mate. I'm going to show what we're giving away. And of course, you're in that giveaway as well. Josh, your name will be on the wheel. Dax will put your name on the wheel, so you could win this.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I mean, look, it's more of a little token of appreciation, and once again, I can't take all the credit for this because the very generous community that is here within Stacker Social, they donate so much to be given away. So this is pretty much entirely donated. Of course, I'll pay the postage and stuff as I do every week. I don't mind doing that. But thank you to everyone that has donated to make this possible. So yeah, I'm going to show you now what is up for grabs. So we will start with the stickers. But before I do that, 3D printer, well known in the community, does a fantastic job. And he sent me an awesome package with the first edition of Nerds Beast. And that would be, of course, Nerd UK. And part of this giveaway will be Nerd Beast 1, the Bulldog of England. And just to read this for you, it says it's actually got a poker chip which slots in perfectly there. That's slotted in. It's amazing. You can pop that out. If I show you the return, it's got Nerd UK's channel on it. I don't know how clear that is. Sorry. It's got an alien on it. It's really nice. Lovely poker chip that comes with it. But it says get this so I can see it because my tripod is absolutely huge, ridiculous. I need a new one. So it says, with a face only a stacker could love and a growl that scares away fiat currency, this squat legend guards your stack like it's the last tin of corned beef post-Brexit, draped in Union Jack swagger, and powered by pure stubbornness. He's not just a symbol of Britain. He is Britain. If Britain had 4 legs and snored like a freight train. There you go. That's the first thing in there, guys. That's amazing. Thank you so much to Nerd for sending that. Let's go through some stickers. So, oh my God, I just dropped them everywhere. Having an absolute mare here, Josh. Right. Stackers Social original sticker. Beautiful. Godfather of stacking himself. 365 days of silver. You'll get his business card. You will actually get 2 of these. So these are, I'll get the front and the back. Nemo's Numismatics business card, but then on the reverse, because you'll get 2, so this is the reverse. It's a Stacker Social business card with a QR code on there as well. Keep one, pass one on to a friend. You've got another Stacker Social sticker, which is basically the baby brother one. I love them. And the producer himself, Diaxis. What do you think of this sticker, Josh? I think the colours on this are beautiful. How nice is that?
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, really nice.
There we go. Right, so okay, poker chips then. Let's move on to the poker chips. Have you got a poker chip, Josh, or is it just stickers?
I do have a poker. Hang on, let me see if I've got one spare.
I'm only asking, by the way, just because I want one if you do. That wasn't like a for anything else.
Yeah, I'll come back to you on it. I may do, I may not. I only really get like 10 at a time. I think I've only ever had 20, but I may have one. I'll have a look and I'll come back to you.
What are the odds that you go check in the old drawer or wherever it is you keep these things, and just like with the sticker I got from you, what if magically you have one poker chip left and I get that as well? How cool would that be?
Well, it would be the original. It'd be the original I had from like 4 years ago. But I'd happily, if I've got it, I'll happily give it you.
Oh my God, I would be honoured, mate. Thank you. We'll talk about that after, but that's amazing. But I do have some poker chips here, guys, from members of the community, starting with, he's here tonight, the Coin Cutter. You get the Coin Cutter's poker chip. It's really nice. I got these this week. He sent me 10, and that is the Silver Spectre. The Silver Spectre's poker chip. I really like this poker chip. I don't know how close I can bring it to the camera, sorry, because it goes blurry after a while. You'll have to let me know. But I'll flip this around. It's quite a dark design, but in person, this really pops. Really nice. Beautiful. So you get the Silver Spectre. Get the Stackamon Pokemon card. There he is. I'll turn this around for you. For you Pokemon fans out there, this is really nice. Love these. You'll get one of them, of course. To go with your sticker, you will get Diaxis's poker chip. Love that. You will also get, to go with his business card, 365's poker chip. And it wouldn't be a giveaway on Stacker Social without Stacker Social poker chip. And on the back of this, of course, there's a QR code. And last but not least, we've also got, very kind, I've got a few of these left. Nemo's Numismatics poker chip comes in a nice case. And there you go. Now. There is some metal here. And it's a token of appreciation. I can't take credit for these. I'm going to give the shout out to Shiny Silver, absolute gentleman who sent me some bits and bobs to give away at my discretion. And this week, I'm going to be popping in, guys, a beautiful 1964 copper round. Really nice. Really, really nice. I'll show you the back of that now. There we go. That's going to be in there. Someone will win that. Along with, there is some silver. It's not much, but, you know, it's free. Can't complain. I've got a, what year is this? Got a 1918 sixpence. And that is, of course, 925 silver. So there we go. Oh, I almost forgot. How am I gonna get all these to you safely? Well, these are apparently bulletproof. These are gonna go in a zippy bag from Cardiff Gold, but saving the best till last, guys. I really, really am. Do you know what's coming? Do you know what's coming, Josh? Do you know what? With a Cardiff Gold zippy bag. What comes with that? Do you know?
Is it the other accessories along with it? I want
It's
to
one.
say. I'll go on.
It's one accessory. Go on, take a guess. What potentially could Cardiff Gold do better than anyone else in the entire world? What could it be?
Is it a fancy pen?
Oh, people in the chat know. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you will also be proud owner of a
Oh,
Cardiff Gold. Yeah, look, I heard the reaction there, Josh. That was
yeah.
a real. Oh, look at that. I mean,
I've
come on.
yeah. I've got one of the. I kid you not. Writing is just
Oh,
so much more enjoyable now with that pen.
and would you agree that they are robust and they write better than anything else I've ever held in my entire life? They're amazing.
Yeah. I don't go anywhere without it. My life
I,
has changed completely with that. So
do you know what, Josh? Some people
I
go
need it.
out. Yeah, people go out day to day with what they call a pocket piece. I go out with a Cardiff Gold pen.
Yes. Yeah. What's even silver and gold anymore?
Oh, so guys, that's the giveaway this week. Thank you to all the people that donated. Josh, what do you think of that giveaway, mate? Bit of
I
fun.
think it's brilliant. Yeah, a lot of goodies in there. A lot of great poker chips and everything as well from a lot of great people. The bulletproof pen, really generous of yourself, mate, for that sixpence as well. Really nice.
I can't take any credit, mate. The sixpence and the copper round were donated by Shiny Silver, who has just said, if on the random chance I win, could you rerun the spin for the stuff that I gave you? Yeah. So if basically what he's saying is the copper round and the sixpence. If he wins, he wants me to rerun it for someone else. Yeah, I'll happily do that. And if that's the case, I'll put some other bits and bobs together in that. So yeah, no problem, mate. No problem. And Benson says, these giveaways are always amazing, and the people of the community are really kind with their donations to the giveaway. Great people out there. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for the love in the chat. Right, Diaxis, the producer, let's bring him in. And let's give him a warm welcome, guys, because I really mean this. Diaxis does more for me than what probably most people realize. And Sundays with Craven of recent times would not be what it is without him and his help. The reason it's on my channel is because he records it for me. The reason we get Little John's Wonder Wheel is because he will come on and do that for me. So warm welcome. I'm inviting him to speak. He's been jotting down your names, so be nice to him. He decides whether you're in or not. Diaxis, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, man. How's things?
So, all good, mate. All good. Me and Josh were just talking about the importance of a Cardiff Gold pen. Do you own one?
I had one, mate, but if I'm totally honest, it got destroyed in my parcel. I don't know if you
No.
remember. You know, like my box got tore open.
But I don't understand because they're bulletproof.
No, they're not, mate. Literally, the nib got wore out. It wouldn't write.
No. I don't know about you, Josh. It sounds like a fake to me. No Cardiff Gold pen that I've heard of would break that
Wow.
easily.
I beg to differ,
No,
mate. You
no.
haven't seen the hole in the side of the box that I received.
Oh, well, whichever postman or postwoman that was, they should be disgusted with themselves.
Yeah, absolutely
That's
destroyed
atrocious.
it. Mate, I was just
Guys,
surprised literally nothing got missing because you could literally fit your hand in the hole.
oh, mate. Well, this is the thing now. So I use pretty much a whole. I think he's hitting now. This is like brown tape. I use
Yeah,
the whole
don't
pretty
blame you,
much.
mate.
This is full to wrap up the prize with Silver Punk's defaced bar to send to Villainous Bounty. I don't know how long it took him to open it, and I sent him a message saying, "I'm sorry. I want it to get to you and not be opened. We all know what can happen in the post sometimes." And he said he quite enjoyed opening it. So if you guys like it, I'll use a whole roll of tape every time. But yeah, justice for Diaxis on that one. But Diaxis, where are we at with the wheel, mate? Are we?
Oh, mate,
are
we
we,
were
are
done
we
like 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah, we
sorry.
were done ages and ages ago, man. But yeah, it's all good,
Yeah,
man.
but it was really important that me and Josh got to
Yeah,
really
no. No, it's been
explain
fun listening, mate.
the importance of a Cardiff Gold pen, and everyone here should know that. But yeah, how many names do we have in the hat?
38.
Yeah, so that will include, obviously, you've got 35 in the audience. You've got
Yeah, well, bearing in mind this is from 20 minutes ago as well. But yeah, I think it was like 35 plus Josh plus Little John.
that sounds about
Or
right,
something
mate.
like that,
Yeah, have you got
36.
Brits and Sobs in there?
Yeah. But he
Cool.
was still
Right,
there when I was making the list, so that's fine.
there we go. Well, if you want to share screen,
Yeah,
we can move to
indeed.
that. The chat are going to have a role in this, deciding the shuffles when I say go. And also, when we're about to start this, Josh, you are going to have the honor of doing the countdown for Little John, mate. Okay?
Wow. Thank you
And
so much.
and for the... I can tell how much that means to you. I'm not even going to tell you what number to start from. I want you to surprise us. Doesn't have to be 5. It doesn't have to be 3. It could be 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. You surprise us. But guys in the chat, whenever Diaxis says, put it in the chat. Diaxis, you tell them. First number in the chat whenever you say go.
Well, I'm glad Bo's already put his number in. Go. Oh, I see 4. Shiny.
I've got shiny silver. Yeah, unfortunately,
that's
Bo, I'm sorry, Bo. We're not doing 69. that would be... yeah, I mean, we never put a cap on that. It's literally first one in the chat.
It should be like under 10. Like 20 is a max.
Yeah, under 10, guys. Under 10.
Same again, guys. You can double click the wheel to make it full screen if you can't see it.
Yeah, 100%, guys. Make sure you can see the wheels. Someone is about to win. If it lands on Little John, I will rerun the wheel and I'll chuck in a silver half crown, 95 silver as well for the winner, just to spice things up a little bit. But if Diaxis is all good, yeah?
Yep, just waiting on a countdown off of Josh.
And Josh, give us, from whatever number you choose, give us a countdown, mate.
I'm going to go boring. I'll just go from 3 to 0. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Little John's Wheel of Wonder has been spun. Now, as you all know, this is for 60 seconds long, Diaxis?
Yes, mate.
60 seconds long. So for the first 30 seconds, nobody knows what's happening, apart from Little John, who is getting really dizzy. But we are starting to slow down, and we can see some names. Who's in with a chance? Just don't forget, you may think it's slowing down, but this probably is going to go around 3 more times yet. It's a real tease. People have complained saying they thought it was them and then it moved on. I know, it's horrible, but Little John does as he pleases.
Arkin Danny, mate.
It's gone past Little John. Ooh, right, we're slowing down. What are we thinking? We've got Benson, we've got Wills, we've got Crispy. I think it's going to be Crispy or Danny.
But it's still moving. Yeah, either Danny or Baron. Oh, it's Crispy? Danny?
Danny. Is Danny? So is that Sandy Millington and Danny?
That was just Danny, mate. But yeah, they're technically the same person.
The Millingtons who are currently in Italy. Congratulations. You've just won the bundle. Well done. Yeah, that's a nice... I think they finished their holiday today or tomorrow. So that's a really nice way to end the holiday, guys. Congratulations. Send me a message with your address and I'll get that sent to you. There we go. Thank you so much. And Diaxis,
yes,
thank you for coming on.
Welcome on.
And doing that spinny wheel, because without you, mate, I was like doing first one to get the right number. The chat would freeze. It's all over the place.
I said from day one, mate. I got you back, bro. So yeah, we get it sorted, man. It's no problem.
You're a legend. Thank you so much, mate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, well, I'll step out. You have to bump me out, but yeah, enjoy the show, and I'll catch you boys in a little bit.
I hate this.
Just do it, mate. It's fine.
Everyone put justice for Diaxis. Here we go. Hang on. What's this?
All right, cheers, guys. See you on the next one. Don't do it.
Oh, legend. I appreciate Diaxis so much. But Josh, it's nearly 9:30, which is when I plan to wrap this up. Thank you so much. This has been a long time coming for me. This podcast means a lot to me. You coming on is very special, and I appreciate it and your time so much, mate. Thank you for being here.
No problem at all. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time, and thanks to everyone else as well.
Yeah, I've had good fun tonight. I really have. Now, Josh, we've spoke a little bit in the week, and well, you know what's coming next week. If the guys here don't know, next week it's not going to be about a special guest as such. It's going to be completely different to the norm. Next week, here in the UK, we love a Sunday roast, don't we? Well, next week is going to be the Sunday roast of Craven, me, or for some of you guys, Caravan, whatever you want to call me. Give me your worst. I am inviting people on. I'm hoping there'll be more than what we've got currently. I think there will be. And they're all going to get a shot at roasting me. And for a change, guys, there will be a giveaway. But the winner of the giveaway will be one of the special guests. But you guys in the audience will get to choose who that winner is through a live poll. Now, Josh, you got through under the bus with a question from last week's guest, which was, what is the meaning of life? This is your chance. I am asking you for a question for all of next week's guests. Before they roast me, what question would you like me to ask them?
I want to. I think. How do I? I've got it saved actually.
Yeah, I specifically asked Josh to throw them under the bus here, so thank you for doing a good deed here.
No problem at all. Happy to do it. I just can't get onto the message I sent you. So.
Do you know what? I've got a second device, but you can't log on Discord on two devices at the same time. It's a different Discord. I know what it is. I've remembered. Okay.
Yeah,
what?
you go. I'm happy with you. Yeah, it's not working for my phone.
Correct me if this is wrong, but your question for next week's guest is: what is the nicest lie you have told recently? Is that right?
Yeah, go for that. Yeah, it could be something being, well, I don't know, something tastes terrible, and they said it was great, but really it was a lie. But
somebody's missus made them a special tea. You were like, this is the best tea I've ever had, and then you spat it back.
Yeah, just awful. Yeah,
terrible. But I think that's a great question. And Josh, once again, I echo, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. We spoke about so many topics tonight, and I look forward to seeing where you go with your channel and everything. You've actually got 2 channels, so I don't know what your plans are with the second channel, but yeah, I wanted to plug that as well, mate. For those that are still here, are you planning to upload on the second channel much more?
Yeah. I'm going through it. That's going to be less, but yeah, I am. Yeah, there'll be little bits and pieces going on. That I think the next one will probably go up in the next month or so, but that will be, yeah, that's something I'm still uploading on. So there'll be both channels, but MacDonald Bullion will still be my main channel. Nothing's going to change. It's not going to impact the channel in any way.
Yeah, no, I'm subscribed to your second channel. I think that one is Josh MacDonald as opposed to MacDonald Bullion. Is that right?
I think I'll have to double check. I can't remember now.
I don't know the exact name of it, sorry, but I am subscribed to it. And although I don't have anything to do with crypto, I do enjoy learning about it. So I look forward to following
yes, yeah, no, it's it's my 1 Satoshi at a time. So it's stacking Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's it. And for all you guys that are interested in that, check out Josh's second channel. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I've had a lot of fun with our special guest, Josh. And yeah, I look forward to next week as well. Josh, do you have any final words for the podcast?
I just want to thank you again, for all your patience and everything. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's good to be on again. It's good to see everyone as well. Thank you for everyone for your questions. And it's nice to get together, and we're all busy with our lives and everything. And stacking gold and silver brings a nice community of people together. So I just want to thank you all for your questions, and hopefully see as many of you guys in Berlin as possible. That'd be great.
I can't wait for Berlin, mate. I look forward to meeting you there. That's going to be amazing. Guys, that is the end of the show. Thank you so much to everyone that joined in. Well done again to Danny and Sandy Millington. Enjoy the last part of your holiday. Send me a message when you get back or whenever, and I'll get the giveaway sent to you. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, what is left, and I hope you take some good momentum into next week. We will, of course, be back next week for the Sunday Roast of Craven. But on that note, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.